and good evening, everyone. I would like to start off by saying welcome to Mr. Urtiega. I hope to get to know you a little better in the near future so that our union can get to know you a little bit better. For my second topic, I would like to say that our negotiations team has worked hard with your union on our contract so that we can meet this board meeting's deadline. Our union is hopeful that our contract will be approved. That's my short speech for tonight, and I'll pass it over to First Vice President, Mr. Lacy.
Thank you, CSEA family. I'm Matt Lacy, CSEA Vice President. I wear many hats. I'm obligated to speak as Chief Negotiator for the California School Employees Association, Chapter 42, asking for you to please vote yes on approving our collective bargaining agreement that we graciously, mutually agreed to with the powers that be. May the history of one of our longest negotiations reflect the cooperation of ensuring the best for our staff. As a steward, our Weingarten rights have been pushed. We keep having members being pushed into possible disciplinary meetings without time to gather representation. This is a general lament to things currently happening respectfully without name dropping anyone. We implore management to advise your supervisors and management of this concern to advise accordingly. We have our Weingarten right because of a ruling by the Supreme Court in 1975. We have a right to union representation if a meeting could possibly lead to disciplinary termination or affect my working condition. We ask not to be pushed into a possible disciplinary meeting without time to gather union representation. We simply ask for more patience in cooperating with our membership on sensitive matters. Sometimes we need to slow down and move faster. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is well. The board has met in closed session and has 2 items to report. The first readout is that during closed session, the Board of Trustees took action to approve the February 5, 2026 resignation and settlement agreement with employee number FN2348612, a classified employee of the Whittier Union High School District, and accept the resignation effective close of business on February 11, 2026. The Board of Trustees, the motion was made by Trustee Castaneda Calleros, seconded by Trustee Lopez, and the vote was 5-0 on that matter. Second matter to report out on is that during the closed session, the Board of Trustees discussed and took action regarding a proposed mitigation agreement concerning the assessment of developer fees. The Board of Trustees is pleased to report the approval of a formal mitigation agreement between Olson Urban 5-Whittier 2 LLC, the Whittier City School District, and the Whittier Union High School District. This agreement resolves negotiations regarding developer fees associated with the residential project located at 7336 through 7354 Painter Avenue in the city of Whittier, corner of Painter and Mar Vista. The motion to approve the agreement was made by Trustee Canchola and seconded by Trustee Lopez. The motion passed 5-0. Okay, so now we move to our Pledge of Allegiance. And I am going to ask our newest trustee, Mr. Urtiaga, to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, please stand. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And then, Dr. Oviedo, can you please read our land acknowledgement?
I will. The Whittier Union High School District acknowledges our presence in the traditional ancestral land of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples, which includes the villages of Chokishna, now Santa Fe Springs, Sihat, now Los Nietos Whittier, and the village of Sijitna, now Whittier San Gabriel River area. This land remains unceded territory. Whittier Union High School District honors and respects the Gabrielino Tongva ancestors and their connection to this land.
Thank you so much. That takes us to item number 5, our performance from Whittier High School. Dr. Oviedo.
Yes, I'm very excited to welcome our Whittier High School Jazz Band under the direction of Mr. Eddie Mijares. And with that, Mr. Mijares, take it away.
themselves.
Like one at a time?
Yes, please.
I'm a little under the weather, so I'm gonna let them do most of it.
Absolutely.
So let's just start here and we'll kind of snake it around this way, okay? Stand up once it's your hand.
My name is Ramon Mendez. I am a senior in middle school. I play tennis sax.
Oh yeah.
Name's Andrew Martinez, freshman, tenor sax.
Oh yeah.
Name's Hugo Gutierrez, freshman, alto sax.
My name is Kaylee Flores. I'm a sophomore and I play the alto sax.
Good evening. My name is Ricky Nobrera. I'm a senior and I play the alto sax.
My name is Emma Basta. I'm a freshman and I play bari sax. My name is Blake Marquez. I'm a senior and I play bari sax.
My name is Darren Rico. I'm a sophomore and I play trombone.
My name is Chloe Quiroz. I play trombone. I'm a freshman.
My name is Francis Mendez. I'm a freshman and I play trombone.
My name is John Torres and I'm a junior and I play trombone.
I'm a freshman and I play trumpet.
I'm a junior and I play trumpet.
My name is Will Votto. I'm a senior and I play trumpet.
My name is Adelina Monzon. I'm a junior and I play the trumpet. I'm Maria Castaneda. I'm a senior and I play trumpet.
My name is Contreras and I'm a senior and I play electric bass.
My name is Brian Wynn. I'm a sophomore and I play the drum set.
My name is Jamie Almendares and I play keys.
My name is Alberto Udino and I play guitar.
Pedro Pinedo and I play drum set.
My name is Noemi Romero and I play piano. I'm a sophomore.
My name is Brett Molina. I'm a sophomore and I play the guitar.
My name is Eric John Hill. I'm a freshman and I play drum set.
My name is Alexander Kocharian and I play the electric bass.
Well, thank you so much, and we have had a tradition here as a board that if a board member would like to make a comment to you and the students, we pretty much allow our board members to do so. Dr. Castañeda Calleros, I know you're remote. I hope you were able to hear that fabulous music, or if you want to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Madam President. The Cardinal Jazz Band, you sound amazing. I was rocking out over here. I'm so glad you couldn't see my legs moving and me swaying back and forth, but you came out loud and clear from my computer, and that's a testament to all of your practice and your talent. And Mr. Mijares, thank you so much for your leadership. Mr. Favela, thank you for your support for the students as well. And families, if you came out to support your Cardinals, thank you for all of your support and for being here tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. Mr. Guerra.
It's always nice to be able to see the students come out and see the things that they want to share with us. So thank you very much for everything that you do for our school, our school district, and being here tonight. I also want to give a big shout out to my man on the bass. What was your name again? Yes. Alex, I saw you rocking. I'm a bass man too, man, so great job. The funk there, I saw a little bit of that. But I want to thank everyone, especially those parents who came tonight to celebrate, because it's nice to be able to see these kinds of presentations for the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to give a shout out to all the teams. Thank you for some great music. But I want to let you guys know that we have some VIPs that are hearing your music, and that would be Trustee Carrera from East Whittier is here to listen, and Trustee Dabbs from East Whittier as well. So I just want to thank you for being here tonight to see what we do, and also to see them perform. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much. We have another VIP, Ivan, from my supervisor Hans' office. So good investment in our music, Ivan. Pitch. In any case, I just wanted to thank you so much. This was like actually the highlight of my day was listening to you. I wanted to continue rocking out. It's going to be hard to get into the business because I wish I could listen to more of your music. And so I just want to congratulate Mr. Mijares for doing such a great job with your amazing students. I was also really glad to hear that not all of you are seniors, that some of you are freshmen. You're going to be sticking around for a little while with our school at Whittier High School. And Mr. Favela also for supporting the music program at your school. Music, especially in this day and age and this political atmosphere, that's what we need for our hearts. So I really want to express my gratitude for your talent and for being here tonight. Thank you.
I want to say, wow, amazing, puts us in the right frame of mind. You all, your performance, who you are, is why we're here, to serve you and to ensure that you get the best opportunities that you can to do whatever it is you want in this world. I too am a bass player, by the way, so I was rocking out, but I actually kind of want to play the trombone. I'm just going to say that. But anyway, thank you to the families, thank you students, congratulations. You now have a love of music that's going to take you the rest of your life. When you need to get away, it's listening. When you need to get away in a space, it's playing. We've all been there, so congratulations on learning a new passion, or for some of you, perhaps just continuing the passion. So thank you very much. Have a good, I guess now, what do we tell them normally? They can head home
You're
if they
more than
want.
welcome to stay, but we also recognize that if you need to head out, we understand.
Yeah, it's a school night.
We're now moving on to community comments. The rules with respect to community comments are listed on our agenda. I do want to add one more comment on this, is that for those of you who do make community comments, please be assured that we as members of the board listen very carefully to what you have to say. It informs our decision making, but we are not allowed by law to respond specifically to any of the comments you might make. So please do not take the fact that if we respond or have a stoic look on our face that we are not listening. So now going to community comments.
And with that, and as they come up to the mic, I would also just add that it is a 3-minute community comment, and Mr. Gemero will be giving you a 1-minute warning so that you can be mindful of your time. Mr. Saul Ruiz, if you could come up, and I'm thinking so that you can be best on camera, over on that mic would probably be best.
Dear members of the board and Dr. Oviedo, my name is Saul Ruiz. My daughter is a pep star at Serna High School. I am here today to formally raise concerns regarding staff misconduct, student safety, and administrative oversight. While we appreciate the professionalism of Mr. Sean Stewart, who has been the only administrator to make us feel heard, would personally want to share this matter with all of you. For over 7 months, we have sought answers and accountability. We have recently contacted district help, including Dr. Oviedo and Mrs. Canchola, but have not received a response yet. We are here today so our concerns are heard. We possess substantial documentation and discrimination and misconduct that has been shared with Mr. Stewart. Due to the time limit, I will focus on the most serious issue, an illegal act committed against my daughter. In August 2025, after my daughter did not make varsity, she requested a meeting with Coach Julia and Nesta, which are actually here. They're standing right here behind me. We requested a meeting. During that meeting, Coach Julia secretly audio recorded my minor without consent. Coach Julia initially denied that and later admitted to it. California is a two-party consent state. Recording a minor without consent is illegal, PC 632. Sadly, after this meeting, my daughter's private conversation was shared with other staff and referred to as the tea or the gossip. She poured her heart out to these coaches. This violated her privacy and caused significant emotional harm. She felt humiliated, unsafe, and fearful for retaliation. My daughter was alone in a gym with 2 adults while being secretly recorded and subjected in inappropriate comments. This is unacceptable in any educational setting.
1 minute.
We accepted the following, we followed the district chain of command. This specific concern has not been adequately addressed. We have also observed continued unprofessional conduct, including discussing Mr. Stewart's active investigation with dancers and making statements that increased tension or fear. Ms. Clark and Julia shared confidential matters with both involved and uninvolved dancers, which created further risk of retaliation to our daughter. First, Julia shared with the dancers that it is not allowed to bring her baby to practice or competitions because of mean people in the world. Second, Ms. Clark told the cheerleaders that she is not going anywhere, not to be worried about these students' interviews. This happened in the past, but parents wrote a letter to back her up. When our daughter heard about these comments, she was fearful of attending school and pleaded to stay home. She has missed so many days of school because of it. It's so difficult to put on a face that she is okay. Multiple dancers have reported emotional distress and fear of speaking up. We are currently aware of several dancers experiencing serious mental.
If you could just hold for one moment while the board president makes a determination if they want to hear more and about how much more longer you.
Please continue on, you'll have one more minute.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We are, sorry, now I lost. We
I
are,
would say she's missed days.
she's missed days of school. Multiple dancers have reported emotional distress and speaking up. We are currently aware of several dancers experiencing serious, We have also been told that complaints would simply be redirected to personal relationships that Ms. Clark has within the administration. Statements such as, you go to the district and they would just send you right back to me, undermine trust in the complaint process and discourage reporting. Our concern is simple. Why is a coach who has violated privacy laws and demonstrated ongoing poor judgment being allowed to remain in his position? Dr. Oviedo, you have stated that you lead with the same care you would want for your own children. We ask you to consider whether you would accept this treatment for them. Because of this experience, my daughter has lost her passion for dance and no longer plans to pursue it in college. Excuse me. Sadly, a dream she had had since the age of 3 was taken away. Our goal here is to ensure that no other student or family endures what our has experienced. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Our next community comment is from Michael Aguilar.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael. I'm a lifelong resident of Whittier and a proud alumnus of California High School. I'm here tonight because I'm concerned about a previous discussion at a past board meeting regarding the Whittier Union High School District's possible withdrawal from the Tri-Cities RLP program. I want to share that I believe the board should reconsider or at the very least delay this decision. When it came to when I was choosing a high school, many of my friends had wanted to go to La Serna. At the time, though, my parents had given me the option of either going to California High School, where I was originally zoned to go, or seeing if I could find a way to transfer to be with my friends. I ended up choosing Cal High because of the Health Academy and the opportunities that I'd be given there. And at Cal High, one of the opportunities I was given was through a Tri-Cities RLP program with the CNA course that is offered for seniors there. And because of this, I was awarded opportunities to gain real clinical skills, professional experience, and a clear pathway into healthcare when many other graduates were still unsure about what they would do after they graduated. Because of this, I was also able to take the test to get my CNA certification right during the summer and get my certification right as I graduated. Because of this, I was set to continue my nursing career, my pathway in nursing much sooner than many others would have, who needed to get a CNA certification, as that's being required more in many other nursing programs. because I was able to get a jump start at this through high school, I was able to start this pathway much sooner, and I have actually just finished nursing school much sooner than many others would have, who have been delayed by having to take the course during their college years.
1 minute.
This decision had changed the direction of my entire life when I attended this program in high school, and I'm hoping that the board will reconsider its withdrawal and take into consideration the confidence and real-world skills that the programs offered by Tri-Cities RLP have on students, and will reconsider pulling away so quickly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aguilar.
Our next speaker?
Our next speaker is Ivan Sulik, Field Deputy with Supervisor Hahn.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure being here representing your County Supervisor, Janice Hahn. Flanked to my right, as you know, as was mentioned earlier, Lisa Dabb from the East Whittier School District. And so just wanted to be here this evening to congratulate the newest member of the Whittier Union High School District, Mr. Ortega. Supervisor Hahn knew that when you had some great candidates that you were considering for this position. But when we saw Armando's name, we said, that individual would be the best person to fill this seat and continue his public service from the East Whittier School Board to the Whittier Union High School School Board. So, on behalf of Supervisor Hahn, we just want to congratulate you as you take this position, and just know that we stand ready to support you as you take this position and as you serve the students and families, the teachers and staff at Whittier Union. We stand ready to support you. And we just have a token of appreciation honoring your many years as East Whittier School Board member, and to congratulate you on this new position. And so I have a certificate of special recognition that I would like to present to you. But before I do that, I want to yield the remainder of my time to Lisa Dabb, if you want to say something.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Board, and thank you, Superintendent Oviedo. It has been such an amazing journey for us to serve with Mr. Chiaga. And one of the things that I mentioned at our board, as I am the president of the board currently, is that when I first joined the board, Armando just reached out to me in such an amazing way, and he helped me to feel welcome on the board, and that meant a lot to me, because nobody really knew who I was, and even though I was known internationally, because I worked very hard in many capacities as an education consultant, I wasn't really known in my own community. And so Mr. Chiaga and I both shared the fact that we were both school principals, and that helped us to connect right away. And I'll never forget that when I had some conversations with him, he would say, because I was very excited about doing certain things, and he would say, let's just slow down, Lisa, you're gonna get what you need, but we go fast, we go slow to go fast. So I just want to tell you how much we are honored to have him now take his role here beside all of you here in the Whittier Union High School District.
So on behalf of the 10 million residents and Supervisor Hahn, I'm going to present you with this proclamation to commemorate your service as East Whittier School Board member and to congratulate you as you take this new position. Congratulations. And I know he can't respond, but you can take a quick photo, right? I'm trying to follow the rules.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, good things.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, any other community comments? I'm sorry, no further? No further. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so that moves us to number 7, organization of the board. 7.01, administer the oath of office for board member, provisional appointment, Mr. Urtiaga. But before we have him administer the oath, I'm going to take a point of personal privilege as the president of the board to say, I think on behalf of the board, how excited we are to have you join us on this dais. You are a man of service, you are a man of character, you are a family man who cares deeply for his family and our community, and we thank you for your previous years of service, and we look forward to working with you to ensure a highly functional board to service our students, our families, and all of our community here. So Armando, congratulations, and I don't know who's going to administer the oath. And why don't we have you introduce your colleague?
So, good afternoon, everyone. Armando Ortega, and I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Joseph R. Williams, who's the Vice Chair of the San Bernardino Community College District, and he's also a member of the California Community College Board of Governors, and he's going to be swearing me in. And I'm also going to bring up my wife Lupe and my twin boys Isaiah and Aaron.
First, Armando, I just want to say congratulations to you. Great selection, proven track record, sound leadership. I've been on the other side of those go slow to go fast comments, and so let's go ahead on and raise your right hand.
Wait, come over here. You want to go right here? You want to go right here?
On that side, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Is that how we're doing?
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me just get my. I'm sorry.
You want to come on that side?
Yeah.
Okay, come on this side.
All right, so we're gonna start and say I and then your name.
I, Armando Ortega,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I would defend and support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
I will bear true faith to
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California,
That I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservations
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion,
And I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties for which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Trustee Urtiaga, the floor is yours to make a few comments.
Okay. I'm gonna make it from the seat. I have my notes there. So I'm gonna do it from here because I have my cheat notes here. It's easier. First of all, I wanna thank everyone. And I know you're here for regular board meetings, but there's a lot of you that's here to celebrate with me this special occasion, and so I wanna thank those who have come to see me being sworn in. I know I have colleagues from my East Whittier board, Ms. Dabbs and Ms. Carrera here, and we also got people from Supervisor Han office and very other people from East Whittier School District as well. See a lot of familiar faces because a lot of you came through the East Whittier School District students, mostly parents, so it's nice to see you again. I want to thank my family and friends. And, last week at the last board meeting in East Whittier, I was on that board for 20 years, and it was really heartbreaking to leave the district because you get to a place where you're familiar, you got some great things going, but I knew that this great opportunity was here, and so I took the chance, and I want to thank my colleague trustees for allowing me to participate in the interviews and then select me. I'm definitely going to do my best to be a great teammate, a partner, and someone that's going to continue the great things that we got going on here in the district. I want to thank Mr. Joseph Williams for doing the honors of swearing me in. Mr. Williams does many things throughout the state. He's an elected official with our community college districts in San Bernardino, but he has great relationships with high school districts, with school districts, because he is the next step for lots of our high school seniors in the community college district, and he also has connections to a lot of important people in Sacramento. So not only is he an elected official, but he's also a colleague of mine in Rialto, and he works, and I see the hard work he does and the care he has for the community, so it was an honor to select him to participate in this. My wife Lupe, she goes through, I mentioned this last week, there's a lot of time when you're an elected official, time to get taken away from your family. And because you have to be able to serve the community or visits, and sometimes it takes you away out of town or for long periods of time. And so I want to thank my wife Lupe for allowing me to continue with that. She thought I was going to be done after 20 years, and it's just continuing on a little bit more. But she's a great partner, and I want to thank her for allowing me to continue with this and to continue to do great things. Watching our boys, my twin boys, Isaiah and Aaron, and they're here tonight, and my third son, Adam. So it's like triplets with those 3 boys. But the gray hairs I try to hide all the time. But it's those of you who have kids and 3 boys, they burst through the ringer. But I'm excited to be part of this experience here. Again, I said thank you to my colleagues here. You guys have allowing me to participate, and I know I bring the experience from East Whittier, but there's still a lot for me to learn and to participate, and so I definitely, hopefully I can be an active and engaging part of this board and continue the great things that we have going on here, and I'm open. Give me a little grace, like I said earlier, give me a little grace. There's going to be some things that I'm just going to have to familiarize myself with here in the high school district, but hopefully the transition is not going to take that long, but there might be some nods if I see a stank eye or a look. No, just do one of these nods. As you can tell, there's a lot of hard work and things that we have to do being on this side of the board, and so I always found, working, teaching, being a principal, you have to be able to get to the day with common sense, and you have to have a sense of humor, because there's just things you just gotta laugh at that's gonna get you to the day. It has to break up the monotony, and sometimes a little smile, a little joke here breaks the tension. Even when we're having those difficult conversations, it's very, very important to do that. So you're gonna learn with me that there are some serious sides, but there's also a funny side that's just to break the ice sometimes. So bear with me. Every once in a while we'll do the corny dad jokes. That's just part of what we do. But I do look forward to visiting and working with our families here in the district. I know that being an elected official for our community, even though I'm moving from East Whittier to the high school district, a good portion of my new service area in 5-year is East Whittier. And so I will continue that service and hopefully look forward to continued support by the community. I will again run for election in November, and I'm hoping to look for continued support with you, and hopefully I can earn your vote at that particular time. So I thank you for allowing me to continue to serve, and I'll do my best, as I have to strive before, to do my best to serve this community. I look forward to working with our bargaining units and our staff. I know that working in the school district and working, this is a business of people, and when you're working in a business of people, there has to be culture and expectations and priorities are top. You can't get anything done in the classrooms. You can't get anything moving in our school district if expectations and priorities are not set straight, and I understand that. And so whatever I can do to help bridge that gap, bring a sense of, maybe for lack of better words, common sense, and let's just do what's right. Again, we're always buying to laws and rules and all those things. We're not going to bend, those things will always have to be in place, but I'm hoping that I say a good judgment of someone is that you want to see what someone's going to do in the future, what have they done in the past. And I'm hoping my past has set the ground that I want to continue to do great things here in the district. Open to a lot. I don't know anything. I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. I'm going to hope my colleagues can get me up to that piece where I need to be. But whatever experiences I can bring to help this board, hopefully I can do that for you. And I look forward to, like I mentioned before, visiting those school sites, visiting departments, meeting with our bargaining units, but most importantly, continue to work with our students and our parents in the community. I am a big parent and community advocate, knowing that my role on the board is not to serve the district, but it's to serve the community. And I understand that role, and so I represent the communities, I represent the voters, so you know the way to contact me. Those numbers and those information will be published out, but as elected positions, we represent the community and working along in conjunction with the board. And so, sometimes they forget, as a board member, it's only about the community. I also understand it's about the staff too. My responsibility as a board is that the staff is an important piece of what we're doing. So I look forward to working along with our bargaining units, working with district administration. They've been welcoming to me, and I want to thank everyone for welcoming with that transition, and looking forward to many great things that we got going on here, and seeing all the departments and seeing all the school sites, and It's good, a lot of great things. I've always known about Whittier High School District and the great successes they have, and wanted that to continue. And I asked those questions. I've had a conversation with the superintendent. I'm that board members that ask those questions, and so what those questions are, I always think to spark decision on one. Just because something hasn't been done before doesn't mean it can't happen. This is against the rules or against the law. Our kids is tried. And so, but I also understand that this is a board of 5, and so I'm a team player, and we'll work as a team to get things done. And I understand a lot of things are about negotiations, a lot of things about convincing, persuading, and maybe you'll see the perspective, and that's an important role. And over the last 20 years, it's been very helpful to work with a lot of great people, and my board colleagues have been great with the transition. So lots of things said here. I want to thank Ivan and Supervisor Hahn for the special proclamation, and everyone who came to support tonight, and hopefully continue to support as we move forward. And otherwise, let's have a great rest of the meeting. I know there's going to be a short break, so look forward to meeting some of our new people here and you're always welcome to stay after the meeting, but sometimes people leave. So you're always welcome to stay behind. But I want to thank those, and hopefully I get a chance to meet a lot of you over the next few weeks. Otherwise than that, thank you very much, everybody.
I want to say on behalf of the board, we do have a very long agenda, and so I will be making just a couple more comments from what I already said previously about how excited we are to have you join us. Number one, I've only known you to be serious, so I am looking forward to the dad jokes or whatever those are. But I think what you will find with us as a board is we're collaborative, we're deliberative, we're respectful, and obviously all of us here are committed to students first and our families first. So I think you will find it to be a phenomenal experience to serve with us. And then I did want to do a shout out to your brother, Robert Urtiaga, who is a former member of the City Council for City of Montebello, which is where we met many, many years ago. Great to see you. And with that, I'm going to move to the next item, which is our approval of resolution number 2526-27, certification of signatures. This is obviously to allow Mr. Urtiaga to be able to sign documents on behalf of the board. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Conchola, seconded by Mr. Lopez. We call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes 5-0. And with that, we are moving into a short break to celebrate Mr. Urtiaga and to celebrate the district for this great appointment that we made. So it's 7:48. Let's return at 8:10. That's about 20 minutes. 8:10.
Can we take a quick photo of the board for our PR?
Sure. You're really funny.
Yeah, all right, do better. You gotta bring up. Yeah, I'm taking that. You gotta do that next Oh.
Okay, right on time, it was 8:10 p.m. And now we will move to item number 9 on the agenda, which is approval of the minutes. 9.01, do I have a motion to approve the January 13, 2026 special board meeting minutes? Moved by Mr. Lopez, seconded by Ms. Conchola. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Discussion point?
I'm sorry, my apologies. Discussion, Mr. Dr. Castaneda Calleros.
Thank you, Madam President. Just really quickly, as much as I wanted to be there, I think we need to make a slight edit to the minutes to the special board meeting. It says that I was present, but actually I was stuck in Vienna that night, so my apologies.
All right, so a motion to amend the minutes to reflect that Dr. Castaneda Calleros was not present at the special board meeting. That's an amendment to the motion to approve, is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
And do I have a second to the amendment?
Second.
By Ms. Conchola. I'm going to just move the approval of both the motion and the amendment together unless there's an objection to that. All in favor of approving the motion to approve the minutes with the reflection that Dr. Castaneda Calleros was not present at the January 13, 2026 special board meeting? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
5-0. All right, next one, 9.02, consider approval of minutes from the January 13, 2026 regular board meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Conchola. I think you can second, but you may want to abstain since you were present. Do you want to reflect an abstention?
I'll second the motion.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Castaneda Calleros has seconded 9.02. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Mr. Urteaga?
Abstain, yes.
So that passes 4-0-1. And then, Mr. Urteaga, you would like the records to reflect that on 9.01 for the special board meeting that you also abstained, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, if we can reflect that vote was 4-0-1. All right, 9.03, approval of the minutes from the January 17, 2026 special board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Lopez, seconded by Ms. Conchola. Any comments or any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Okay, passes 4-0-1 with Mr. Urteaga abstaining. Okay, that moves us to item number 10, approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Conchola,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Urteaga. Any discussion on the agenda? None? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, passes 5-0. Okay, on to another fun part of the agenda, number 11, recognition of an exemplary student at Whittier High School.
Yes, and I want to welcome up to the podium Mr. Andres Favela, the principal at Whittier High School, to share with us about his exemplary student.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Good evening, Board President Rodriguez Moisa, esteemed board members, Superintendent Oviedo, and cabinet members. Excuse me. I'm honored to present Guadalupe Dueñas as Whittier High School's Award of Merit student. I'd like to welcome Guadalupe to join me here at the podium, please. Lupe's journey and contributions perfectly embody the values and spirit of our school community. She began her time at Whittier High School with a fully modified curriculum. I'm going to repeat that. She began her time at Whittier High School with a fully modified curriculum, but through sheer internal drive, she has transformed her academic trajectory. Each year, she challenged herself to do more, moving from modified courses to college prep English and math, and eventually tackling a grueling 7-period day. Today, as a senior, she is enrolled in all college prep courses, including ERWIC, math analysis, and advanced art and culinary courses. To reach this point, Lupe took initiative that we rarely see. She independently completed dual enrollment at Rio Hondo College for her world language requirements and utilized our APEX program to retake her early modified curriculum as college prep. Once her final 2 APEX courses are complete, she will graduate A through G eligible. This path was not without its obstacles. In addition to being classified as an English learner, Lupe was diagnosed with a speech and language impairment and a specific learning disability in early elementary school, and was also diagnosed with autism as a young child. While her friend group was small throughout middle and high school, she pushed herself during her junior and senior years at Whittier High School to step out of her comfort zone and initiate conversations and friendships with her classmates. Regarding her academic grit, her case manager, Mr. Chris Daly, noted, quote, "Guadalupe is one of a kind. She has academic achievements that one would view as impossible. In my 14 years as an education specialist, I have never witnessed a student go from modified classes as a freshman to where she is now in all general education classes on the A through G track as a senior," end quote. Beyond her academics, Lupe is a gifted artist. Painting and drawing are her sanctuary, and her dedication to her craft has put her on track to receive the VAPA Medal at Whittier High School this year. She is also a young woman of great character and work ethic, assisting at her family's restaurant and excelling in her work experience program, where she is saving every penny she earns to pay for her future education. Lupe is the first in her family to apply to a 4-year university, and the results speak for themselves. She has already been admitted to Whittier College, Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Dominguez Hills, and Cal State LA. She plans to major in child development and has the goal of becoming an elementary educator, a choice inspired by a teacher she watched grow and thrive during her childhood. Her counselor, Diana Salazar Valles, captures Lupe's impact best. Quote, "Lupe is extraordinarily driven. She has completely changed the way I determine A through G eligibility. This year has been an awesome collaboration between the counselor, the case manager, and Lupe. The amazing part of this collaboration is that Lupe has really been doing all of the work," end quote. Lupe, your thirst for learning and your positive energy are an inspiration to us all. You have proven that there is no barrier high enough to stop a student who has the heart to work for their dreams. Para los padres, felicidades por el gran éxito de su hija. Su arduo trabajo es un reflejo del amor y apoyo de su familia. Lupe, congratulations on receiving Whittier High School's Award of Merit. We are incredibly proud of you and look forward to seeing you continue our legacy of excellence as you head off to college. Congratulations.
Hello everyone. I would like to thank the Whittier Union Board of Education for its commitment to Whittier High School and for all of the students. I would like to thank Mr. Favela and the Whittier High School administration for selecting me for the honor. I would like to thank all of my Whittier High School teachers, especially Mr. Daly, Mrs. King, and Ms. Salazar Valles for helping me push through my struggles and having high expectations. Most importantly, I would like to thank my family, especially my mom, for encouraging me to push myself out of my bubble and for supporting me. She has never let me give up and always encouraged me to chase my dreams. Lo más importante es agradecer a mi familia, especialmente a mi madre, por ayudarme a salir de mi zona. Te competí por el pueblo. En Guardia Nacional, ella nunca me has dejado venirme y siempre a mi hermana el poder seguir mis sueños. That's all I gotta say.
members of the board is that we get to hear your speech and we get to give you some, hopefully, words of recognition. I'm going to start with Dr. Castañeda Calleros again, who's up on the video with us from Washington, D.C. Dr. Castañeda Calleros, any words you'd like to share?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd be honored to speak. Lupe Dueñas, what an inspiration you are. And to hear Mr. Favela go over all of your accomplishments is nothing short of miraculous. But I hesitate to use that word because as much as it implies the presence of the divine in your life, which I think is definitely true in this case, I don't want that to minimize all the hard work that you put in. And it's not lost on me that work ethic was mentioned. You're an overcomer. Hearing that you're an artist, hearing that you've been able to overcome so much from such a young age, to start with a modified curriculum and to get to the point now where you're celebrating college entrance letters. That is truly amazing. It's a testament to your teachers and counselors. I'm glad you mentioned Ms. King and Ms. Valles by name and Mr. Favela. I'm glad you mentioned your mom. A la familia, felicidades en el éxito de Guadalupe. And it's such a pleasure to hear you speak as well. Even though I can't see you, I can hear the confidence, I can hear the joy in your voice, and I can sense the energy in the room is palpable. And I have chills just being, even though I'm 2,500 miles away, it's truly a privilege to be a witness to your success. And I'm just so touched that you've been honored tonight and that you're going to continue to do wonderful things, whatever college you decide to go to. So God bless you on everything you've done, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Castañeda Calleros.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, Lupe, congratulations. You've done an excellent job. And you know, as you were speaking, I was looking over at your parents and how proud that they are of you. And so, first, I want to thank your parents for the hard work that they've done to make sure you get to school, and make sure you wake up every morning, or make sure that you do all the tasks as a student. So you've earned this. You're a representative of your high school. I want you to continue doing some great things. You have your whole life ahead of you. You're off to a great start. You've overcome some challenges, and life's all about challenges. There will be more. That's what happens, but you're off to a great start. And you know, we're hoping that nothing but the best, and my parents, I'm sure they're very, very proud of you. So thank you, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Mr. Favela, for introducing us to Lupe. Appreciate it. And felicidades, Lupe, todo lo que has hecho. And of course, obvio, todo lo que ha hecho tu familia y todas las personas que han afectado a ti con tu éxito. Gracias a todos a ellos. And your work ethic, just keep going. You got it. You got it. You know how to, you know how to, get good grades. Know how to apply for school. You got this. So, but if there's anything we could do, let us know. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Ms. Conchuela.
Lupe, I'm just in awe of your talent and your dedication. You know, for you to have risen so much during your high school years to where you're at right now, to have all these doors that are wide open for you with the CSU system, with Whittier College, you have such a wonderful future ahead of you. You know, I'm a career educator, and it's people like you, students like you, that make it all worthwhile. You know, you have shown your talents, not only academically, but then also in terms of being an artist. That's such a special gift, you know, and I hope that you share your talents and the things that you have learned in your trajectory and your own journey with other students that might be struggling. And because you're a total proof of si se puede, like it can be done. Señor y señora Dueñas, un gran escritor que se llama José Vasconcelos una vez dijo: el saber de mis hijos será mi grandeza. Su hija es un reflejo de ustedes, y su trayectoria y todo lo que ella ha podido hacer es parte de ustedes. Así es que se les dan las gracias por ser unos padres que la apoyan, con ser unos padres que son ejemplares.
Gracias a ustedes también.
No, al contrario. Y muy humildemente les damos muchas bendiciones a usted y a su hija para que sigan adelante. Gracias.
A ustedes también, gracias.
Do you go by Lupe or Guadalupe?
Both. I don't really have a preference or anything.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Guadalupe because I like the way it sounds. Guadalupe, I echo everything that my colleagues here have said. We're incredibly proud of you. I look forward to seeing you be the great teacher that you are going to be, the great educator. Don't forget about us at Whittier Union to come back here. I think Mr. Favela made a comment about elementary school perhaps, but you know, high school's not so bad. And the students would really relate to you. Congratulations on overcoming the challenges that you have. Dale ganas. And to your mom and dad, felicidades con tener una hija de tan gran corazón. Muchas gracias. Congratulations. Okay, so I think now we move to our...
Do the certificate?
Oh, gosh.
We can take your photos.
I'm sorry.
We're going to get some photos and present you with the certificate.
So Guadalupe, I'm so sorry. I forgot to... Come on down, board. We'll take photos. First, you're by yourself, right?
Yes.
Does anyone else want to take a photo too?
So let's do the board members next, and then we'll have the family come up and then the Whittier High.
Okay, I was just, if anyone wanted to take a photo with me.
Board first?
But we can bring.
Yes, yes,
We're here.
And then if we can have the family, if you want to come up and take a photo.
Guys,
The whole family. Cousins, aunts, uncles.
You make it work. She's insisting. Go, mommy. Yeah, I'll tell her. Go, mommy. Sure? Yeah. Mamá, ¿de veras? I'll take a photo for you. Here first. So that one.
Diana.
Okay, and then stay right there. I have the phone right here. Okay. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. All right.
And next up, if we could have the Whittier High School family come on up, the counselor, the teachers, Mr. Dally, I see you there.
Okay. Stay right there. Perfect. Move out of the way. Congratulations. Congratulations. Oh,
started. How do you No, she dropped it on the
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Okay, so next, moving on to the agenda is item 1102, our student report from Olivia Costello from Whittier High School. I will note as a point of personal privilege that I have known her father for a very, very long time. I'm not going to say how long. Who's also an attorney, so will you pass it off?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Olivia Gastelum, and I am honored to serve as the sophomore class president and student board representative at Whittier High School. I would like to start off by thanking you all for having me here this evening. Tonight, I will share the February 2026 activities report. February 10th through 13th is Kindness Week and Valentine's Week. On campus, ASB will share kindness by hosting a Kindness Week. We will have a Spirit Week, which includes Self-Care Day, Pajama Day, Cupid's Colors, students will wear red, white, or pink. Perfect Pair Day is Twin Day, and Sweetheart Style, students will wear different patterns. Lunch activities such as kindness cards, Valentine's Day grams, hearts on a stick, and a kindness chain. On February 20th, we have Western Sadies. Our spring dance will take place on February 20th, 2026. It will be our last dance of the year before prom, and it is an affordable event for everyone to attend. This dance will take place in the horseshoe of our campus. At this event, we will have a Russell's Pretzels truck, Mexican food, inflatables, a photo booth, and a variety of activities for everyone to enjoy. On March 6th, we have a middle school ASB social. ASB is hosting a middle school ASB social. The schools participating are Dexter, Catherine Edwards, and East Whittier. We are hosting a Cards Fest themed rally with a variety of games to help them bond with members from other schools. We will also have activities led by Whittier High School's ASB students, and we will provide them with lunch and goodie bags. On March 13th is our Spring Food Festival. At this event, multiple campus clubs and sports teams will have the opportunity to sell food, drinks, and desserts in the quad of our campus. This will allow them to generate revenue for their clubs and increase their visibility. This event is very popular in the fall and spring, and we look forward to doing it again. Thank you.
Thank you. And lots of stuff going on at Whittier High School. Hello? All right. Thank you, and then Olivia, just so you know, similar to our other students, you're more than welcome to stay, but we also recognize that you've probably got a full study load, and I don't know that your mom and dad want to stay. So, but please, welcome to stay, or if you need to head home because of that, you're certainly excused from that. Thank you. Nice meeting you. Okay, now we go to item number 12, our reports from our representatives. I think I had shared at the December meeting that I was going to rotate who starts every time. And last time was Mr. Renteria's time to start in January, but he wasn't here. So he gets to start today. Mr. Renteria, please.
Thank you so much. Gracias.
All right. Good evening, Superintendent, Dr. Oviedo, Board President, and board members, cabinet members. First of all, I want to say that I love the energy and the enthusiasm of the Whittier High School Jazz Band. That's the reason why I come to board meetings. You know, they really light it up. My report tonight is really short, and I wanted to mention a few things. The first thing I want to do is on behalf of WADA, I'd like to extend the welcome to board member, Mr. Ortiaga. You look like you're the right fit for our district. Welcome to the Whittier family. Your speech resonated deeply with some of my beliefs, our school mission and vision. That's the reason I'm sure why they appointed you. We are happy that you represent our students, our staff, and also our community. The words that you mentioned, that with good judgment and doing what's right for both employees and our staff and our students, I'm sure that together we will continue to make good and positive changes across. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I'm gonna skip on number 2. Dr. Oviedo mentioned something, so that's also a reason why we're making it short. Finally, I want to go ahead and mention that we look forward to working with Ms. Fitzgerald. We finally submitted our initial proposal for the review. And we foresee a good conversation and positive outcome. And we believe that also the changes will be beneficial for both our members, future employees, and obviously the Whittier Union High School District. And as promised, this is my shortest report ever. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Ricky. I very much appreciate you. Mr. Francis.
Good evening, family, friends, administrators, trustees, and honored guests. I'd like to thank all of my WSEA members for joining me tonight. It is my privilege to speak on behalf of the dedicated and passionate educators who make a profound impact on the lives of our students each and every day. I want to begin by welcoming our newest trustee, Mr. Urtiaga. WSEA looks forward to working with you and appreciates your willingness to step into a role that carries both responsibility and opportunity. Public education is strongest when leadership is grounded in collaboration, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to students and staff, and we're optimistic about the work ahead together. As an association, we take seriously our responsibility to be good stewards of this district. Stewardship means fiscal responsibility, transparency, and long-term thinking. But it also means recognizing that our greatest investment is not found on a balance sheet. It's found in the people who serve our students every day. When educators feel supported and trusted, the impact reaches far beyond the classroom. As Theodore Roosevelt reminded us, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Strong schools are built on strong relationships, and those relationships begin with how we treat people doing the work. Our educators are paying close attention to the world around them. They see the challenges our students face, and they understand the moment we are living in or through. It will be in the history books one day. They recognize that education shapes not only academic outcomes, but civic character. As the author James Baldwin said, the purpose of education is to create in a person the ability to look at the world for himself. That is what our educators strive to do. Not to tell students what to think, but to teach them how to think and how to approach ideas with honesty, empathy, and critical thought. In that sense, our educators are quietly working to be on the right side of history, not through confrontation, but through care. Not through ideology, but through integrity. They create spaces where students feel safe to learn, to question, and to grow. This work is not loud, but it is meaningful. It reflects a deep belief in public education and in our shared responsibility to prepare students for the world they are inheriting. We appreciate the board's continued partnership and look forward to working with the entire board to ensure that our district remains fiscally responsible, values-driven, and supportive of the people who make our schools thrive. When we lead with care, when educators feel seen, supported, and valued, our students succeed, communities grow stronger, and our schools live up to their highest purpose. Thank you for your time and for your continued commitment to our students, our educators, and our community.
Thank you so much, Mr. Francev. That will then take us next to our board reports. I'm going to follow the order I've used all evening. Dr. Castaneda Calleros, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm happy to give my board report. And first of all, I just want to congratulate my colleague, Ramanda Urtiaga. And I wanted to be able to recognize and thank your wife, Lupe, and your twins, Isaiah and Aaron. If they're still in the audience, thank you for sharing your dad and your husband with us. And I know after 20 years, maybe you're thinking, oh, we get to have our dad back home. And now, hopefully, Armando, you'll have a long and hearty career with us. So I just want to, again, recognize your family and the contributions to your service. And just was so impressed at your speech tonight. It was wonderful to hear you lay out your goals and your vision, and at the same time, your willingness to be our colleague and to work collaboratively. So just want to add a warm welcome to you tonight.
Thank you.
And secondly, you're welcome. And secondly, I want to be able to recognize Mary Chapman and Juan Alzado, who just earned AXA awards, I believe, Region 15, if I'm not incorrect, Dr. Oviedo?
That's correct.
Congratulations. I hope I didn't let the cat out of the bag, but it was shared with us. So, we should be more careful, I don't know. blame it on the time change. But I also want to thank the USEC students for the great kindness challenge. Wow, that's wonderful work. I was able to see a picture of that in our reporting the update. And I just read that Whittier High School is also doing kindness activities. You know, whenever we are living through a time when we don't see certain qualities in our headlines or in our social media feeds or in the headlines of newspapers, why not become the change we wish to see? And we're seeing that from our students who are taking the lead in terms of wanting to reshape the world as they want to see it. And so kudos to our students for being kind to each other and supporting each other. And we can take a great cue from that. Congrats to the Lucerna High School Robotics Tournament. Wow, 16 competed, 3 advanced to quarterfinals, and 1 crowned as champions, now advancing to state. That is truly an honor. Congratulations to all of you. A couple things coming up on my calendar. Quarter Mania is coming up, Whittier High School Theater Company. So Dr. Veda, if you could add that to our calendar on our quarterly update, that'd be great. I think it's February 21st, but I'm not sure. I intend to do an ethics training. I want to make sure that the board and the committee are well aware of my commitment to keep up with my ethics training every other year. So that's coming up. I think I'd like to do February 27th. So Olga, I'll work with you to make sure that that's something I can sign up for to get that training done. And then last but not least, this was phenomenal. Fernanda from Lucerna High School, I'm so sorry I don't have her last name written down in my notes right now, was named Youth of the Year by the Whittier Pico Rivera Boys and Girls Club Friday night at WAC. And her speech was incredible. It showed such a deep sense of self-awareness, of reflection, of being able to look herself in the mirror and to be able to practice self-care in a way maybe she hadn't prior to that revelation, and to be able to model that for other student leaders, and to be able to have the humility, the vulnerability to speak to that in front of hundreds of people and dignitaries on that night. It's no wonder that she was awarded. And frankly, any of the 4 could have won, but for me, it was clear, and I think the judges agreed, that Fernanda was very deserving of being Youth of the Year. So congratulations to her and her family. What a wonderful honor that was, and to be present for that. And I was happy to represent the board at that event Friday night. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Casanera Calleros. Mr. Urdiaga.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to repeat some of the things I said before, but I just again want to thank my colleagues for allowing this opportunity for me to serve alongside with you, and I appreciate that, and I take that responsibility to the highest levels and understand the impact that our decisions make and how that impacts the rest of our district and our community. So thank you very much for that, and hopefully I do my best to hold the high standards that you all have here, and working alongside our superintendent and the rest of our staff to continue the great things that are happening here in, I almost said East Whittier right there, I caught myself, Whittier Union, so Whittier Union. But I lastly look forward to visiting the schools, meeting a lot of new people. I'll either know your first name first or your last name, and until I get them both together, but lots of great things and we have going on here, and then of course working with our colleagues here, and wanting to provide the best service for our staff and our community and parents. Those contact information, the things that you need to reach out to me, those will be sent out, and we're a servant of the community, and so whatever I can do to help support, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll do our best. Sometimes there's gonna be no. There's gonna be no sometimes. Sometimes there'll be yes, but as long as we work as a team and to try to get things done, and I can, whatever I can do to help support, because at the end of the day, it's about supporting our students and what I can to be a helpful tool to make that happen. So excited, jitteries, and got all the butterflies in the stomach and get going on, but it's a great opportunity, and I'm hoping that those jokes will come out. I know, like you say, you don't want to be serious, but I gotta make a first impression. I come out like a clown one day, but no, I look forward to that, and I'm honest with what are the things that make a person, and what are their thoughts. You gotta have common sense, you gotta have some empathy, and you know, you gotta have some sense of humor. I mean, that is something that's gonna get you through life, and you don't have those at the beginning. Life is tough, you know, gotta be empathy for our community, and I definitely have that. I'm, you know, rewind 30 years ago, I was one of these students in our schools here. And so I know what it is to struggle, I know what it is to be able to face those challenges, but we can, you know, what I can do as a trustee to continue with that, to help those students and our students who are excelling, our students who need a little bit more help. That's what we're here to do. So I'm glad and look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Urtiaga. Mr. Lopez.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm just gonna focus on a couple of things. One, of course, I'm excited to have you on board as well, Mr. Ortega. I want to congratulate you and your family. You and your colleagues, Trustee Aparicio, Carrera, and Dabs, and of course Kenny did an amazing job at East Whittier. It's only natural that you moved to this seat next to me. So great work. I look forward to working with you and glad to call you my colleague.
Thank you.
And then finally, congratulations to all the CIF teams that made the playoffs. It takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, from not only from the players, but the coaches and of course the parents. So congratulations. I look forward to seeing a game or two. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Conchola.
Thank you. So, as you know, we lost a student and pioneer, Jonathan, may he rest in peace. So I did go to his mass, his memorial mass. It was very difficult as a mother of a 15-year-old to see another mother of a 15-year-old crying for her child. But at the same time, it was so beautiful because a lot of the pioneer students, at least 4 of them were there, dressed in white. It was like angelic. And I was amazed at his mother's strength and his father's, but more so his mom, because I think she was trying to keep it together for the father. It pained me as somebody that represents Whittier Union, but it pained me as a mom, again, because, I thought, God, how awful it would be to lose, my child. I went there not as an official, but as a community mom, and it did pain me to lose this young man to this accident. So may he rest in peace. I also was able to attend the presentation by Rafael Agustina at Whittier High School, which was absolutely amazing. It was a packed house, and he did a great job. He's the author of Illegally Yours, and I know that he has a lot of gigs coming up with Hollywood, so Whittier got him at a really good time. I hope that his presentation, I know that his presentation was very timely in terms of all the national conversations that are happening. And so I really hope that the students, took all that he got and digested it in terms of, having deep thinking conversations about what's going on in our nation. Also, I went back to Whittier High School to go to the symphony, and I was kind of just listening into the side conversations during the intermission. Some people had never been to the Whittier Auditorium, and they were just in awe how beautiful the auditorium is. There were some alums that hadn't been there in ages, and I heard a couple of people that had graduated in the 1950s, and they were saying, oh, I remember it as beautiful as it is. And it was just nice to have this amazing orchestra and conductor at one of our own sites. But it was also really good to hear people reminisce about the beautiful structures that we have within our district. Thank you to Mr. Favela for opening up the doors to culture, in our community. So I appreciate that. I had the great privilege, and this is why I'm mentioning it. I had the great privilege to participate just last Thursday in the investiture of UCR's 10th Chancellor, Jack Hugh. And And as I was sitting up there with the president of the University of California, with the UC Regents, with a couple of presidents from different universities around the nation, all I could think about was that it was like a full circle moment, because the first time that I ever wore a cap and gown was at Pioneer High School. And a lot of the leadership skills and qualities that I learned was at Pioneer High School. And as the first president, the first Latina president of the UCR Alumni Association, I know, I hope that I won't be the first, the last. And I know right now we have several students at UCR that are Whittier Union students. And so my whole thought that the time that I was sitting up on the, as part of the special speakers group, I kept thinking so much of who I am, so much of what I want to contribute are things that I learned from the values of Whittier Union High School District. And that's the only reason that I'm mentioning, this great honor that I had just a few days ago, because it is Whittier Union that was the seed to a lot of my possibilities. And so I just wanted to express my gratitude, because all of you as teachers, counselors, parents, and staff, you're doing the same thing that Mr. Orr and Mr. Curtis and Ms. Woodenberg and some of these other amazing educators did for me. You're doing that for our future generations. I just want to thank you for that. I also had a wonderful time to break bread and have a great conversation with our amazing WSCA president, Mr. Francev. And we had a really, nice conversation about, what some of his membership needs are. We just had, time to just sit down and be human with each other, and I just really appreciate it. And then, if that wasn't enough, he brought me some sopita, Armenian sopita, for those days, like after the chemo, that I'm not feeling that great, that I have some love through his special sopitas. I just want to say thank you. And that's it for me.
Thank you so much. One of the best parts about serving as the president this year is to be able to hear first from my fellow board members about what's going on with them and what they're working on. I am in awe of every single one of you and the perspectives that you bring. And I know that together we're going to be doing some great things, as you'll see from the agenda, because we have a busy agenda this week. But I want to say thank you to all of you for being honest, for being forthright, for serving with integrity, and for sharing all of your perspectives. I want to share a few things, following up a little bit on Ms. Conchola's theme of really a belief in public education. She was at the UCR investiture. She also made it to my husband we hosted a UCLA Latino alumni event with some incredible faculty members from UCLA, students, multiple generations of Bruin alums. And I really thank you for coming, and it was just a great event to celebrate. The other thing that happened to me this past week is I was at a dinner last night for the Japanese American Bar Association, and at the beginning of the event, I had not even noticed the program. They did a 3-minute video of Yoshino Kimura, and they read some beautiful words, and I was able to tell my table mates, I knew that guy. And he contributed so much, and there was a reference to his career at Whittier Union and Whittier High School, and also at Yohondo. So it was just great to be in a place where our people are being recognized for their contributions. I'm going to share a little bit more about this later, but I did get to meet one of my sheroes last night in a small 15-person meeting, Associate Justice Sonia Sotomayor. It was incredible. I'll talk a little bit about that when we get to one of our resolutions, because some of the words she shared, I think, inspired. I'm so glad we have this resolution on that we have on. But looking forward to what's coming up. We've got a lot of stuff going on. I can talk to Dr. Oviedo about the agenda, and we're like, oh my gosh, okay, no, that's going to have to move, or that's going to get too long. But we're going to get it all done. I do plan on attending the play over at Cal High on Saturday. Looking forward to hearing the report on what the budget team is working on in terms of getting us to a balanced budget. I know we're going to start getting some more invitations for school site visits, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Dr. Oviedo and I have spoken about the joint meetings with with East Whittier and Whittier City Elementary School Districts. She's reaching out to them for dates, and I think those, we're looking at making them 1 hour meetings with sort of one topic and then social afterwards. So she'll be sending out some requests for dates. It'll be in the summer. And that will end my report. So let's now go to Dr. Oviedo's report.
Well, good evening, and again, I just want to also add my welcome to Mr. Tiaga. I appreciate having you on the board. We have some exciting events that are planned in the weeks to come for our community partners and our students. Pioneer High School will be hosting the Wake Up Whittier Wednesday, February 18 at 7:30 a.m. It's a great opportunity for us to feature one of our premier high schools and the successes of our Whittier, of all of Whittier Union. And as Trustee Castaneda Calleros did let out of the bag, congratulations to Mary Chapman. It's completely fine, it has been published, but Mary Chapman is the secondary principal of the year, and Mr. Juan Enzaldo is adult school administrator. This is for AXA Region 15. We are the largest region in Los Angeles County, 66 school districts within the region. So this is definitely a well-deserved honor for both of them. Best of luck to the 16 Whittier Union teams in the first round of CIF competition. That starts tonight and will continue through Thursday, and we'll keep you posted of their progress. This weekend, more than 80 wrestlers and pretty nearly split 50-50 girls and boys will be competing in the CIF competition for wrestling. Our girls are traveling to Huntington Beach and the boys to Temecula. And I do also want to recognize some key student achievements. As Trustee Castaneda Calleros said, Lucerna Senior Fernanda Chavez is her last name, was honored as the Youth of the Year, and she was a Puentista, a senior Puentista. Both of our students, actually, Cal High's junior, and then Fernanda, both were our members of the Puente program. I also want a huge congratulations to the Santa Fe cheer squad for their CIF Division 4 AA championship. They will be coming to next month's meeting where we will be able to honor them with certificates. And they'll be serenaded by our mariachi, our Santa Fe High School mariachi, who are also coming next month. Let's see, we are in the process of scheduling spring site visits for the board. So if there is a particular school or a particular program that you are desirous of seeing, please let myself or Olga know and let us know the best date. Typically, Fridays often work, but we can always schedule on a different day if that works. And I also have contacted Dr. Patterson and Dr. Mason with respect to those special meetings. We are looking at June for East Whittier, and then July for Whittier City. And our topics for those, with East Whittier, we're looking at the college readiness programs, the Puente program and the AVID program, and the students who are in those programs in the middle school, and then feed into our high schools. And then the multilingual learners for Whittier City, so that we can talk more about their dual immersion program and their students' pathway into Whittier Union, and particularly our associate's degree pathway at Pioneer High School. On our consent calendar for your approval, I just want to share some great items of note. We are accepting a gift of $3,500 from the PayPal Giving Fund, which will be used by our ASBs. We have some exciting field trips for our Science and Career Academy students to Dodger Stadium, SoFi Stadium. I think Ms. Bo and I want to go with them to Dodger Stadium, Disneyland, and Knott's Berry Farm for science programs. And approval of our student accountability report cards. These are inclusive of student achievement data from the last school year that were previously shared with the board at our October special meeting. And next, I want to let you know that the Celebration of Life for Yosh Nakamura has been scheduled for Saturday, March 21st, and will take place in the Vic Lopez Auditorium. The event is in partnership with Whittier High School's Alumni Association, so let us know if you are able to make that. I also want to share with you tentative board assignments for this year's graduations. These were developed in consideration of your availability and your attendance last year. And so, attending at Santa Fe High School, presiding over the graduation at Santa Fe High School is Trustee Canchola, and she will be assisted by Mr. Urtiega. At USEC, Presiding over that graduation is Trustee Rodriguez Moisa, and accompanying her is Mr. Lopez. At Whittier High School, presiding over the graduation is Mr. Lopez, and accompanying him will be Trustee Castaneda Calleros. At California High School, presiding will be Mr. Ortega, and accompanying him will be Trustee Rodriguez Moisa. Presiding at Lucerna High School will be Trustee Castaneda Calleros, and accompanying him, Trustee Rodriguez Moisa. And finally, presiding over Pioneer High School, Trustee Canchola. And then everyone is welcome to attend the transition graduation, and so far I know of at least 2, but I hope that all will be able to attend if possible. And that is kicks off our graduation celebrations on May 21st.
What date is the transition?
Transition graduation is May 21. And that does conclude my report.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you highlighting some of the consent items, because I think there have been times when we have so many great things going on that it's nice to get that highlighted. Alrighty, so let's now go to the consent calendar. First off, does anyone want to pull any items? All right, see.
I do.
You do? Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead.
1505.
05.
And 15.12.
And 15.12?
Yes.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar with the exceptions of 1505 and 1512?
So moved.
Moved by Mr.
Second.
Lopez, seconded by Ms. Canchola. Any further discussion on that? All right, without further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Passes 5-0. So now let's go to 1505. Can I get a motion to approve 1505
So
for
moved.
purposes of discussion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Lopez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Canchola. Okay, Mr. Lopez, a
It's
discussion.
just a discussion, and possibly, in the future, if we can have any kind of completed projects, maybe a nice picture of before and after for the, for the community to see the great things that we're doing. That's all. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
That's it.
I really much appreciate that, because this is, of course, considering approval to accept this project as complete
Yep.
and authorized to file notice of completion with respect to the varsity baseball field renovation at Lucerna High School. All right, so I've got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye to approve 15.05. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, passes 5-0. Now let's go to 15.12. Do I have a motion to approve 15.12?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Lopez. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Canchola. And this item is to consider approval of the school accountability report cards for the 24-25 school year. Mr. Lopez.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. And the reason I pulled this item is to focus on either Frontier High School or Sierra. And I see on page 13 where it talks about school facility conditions and planned improvements, where it said restrooms, bathroom safety, structural, and then external. But I'm going to focus on the structural. And there's structural damage and roofs. I know there was, improvements to the roof at the gym. Is that, who looks at this, and two, how do they rate it? And obviously it's rated as good. So I'm just, who does this, and why is it not fair or needs improvement?
Sure. In regards to the gymnasium, the gymnasium, the auditorium specifically at Whittier High School.
No,
I'm sorry for this one. For this particular one. Yeah, typically the inspection is an interior review. The roofing at SCC obviously is old. It's something that we have on our long-range facilities master plan, and it's a work in progress. Right? We have made temporary patches on that particular facility with kind of a long-term plan to replace the roof. We recently received kind of our original architect's review and estimate of the cost of that, which is extensive. So that is something that was not in the initial, the total scope was not in our initial long-range facilities master plan. So we are looking at options related to that facility. If the question is, should that be in the report card?
Right.
Regarding that. That's a great question. That is, business services is not specifically, I think, we're connected to the report cards for that purpose. If you would ask me if that roof is needs repair, I'd say absolutely.
Right.
You know, so we do recognize that.
So I guess just a follow-up, Mr. Chamorro, how can the public know that we are working on this? If it's not here in this report, where in some other report can we identify the needs?
Sure. For one place, it will be included with our Citizens Oversight Committee presentations. It is a project that has been in our workflow and will be shared with the Bond Oversight Committee as we continue to look at that. So that's one particular place. Mm-hmm. And I think at this point, we're still working on the scope of that project. And I think the complicating piece with that project is with the age of that building, when you touch the roof, there will be additional modernization that's required through DSA, which will include upgrading some of the office spaces that's connected to the adult school as well. So we've mentioned before kind of the scope creep that occurs with projects. This one's going to creep. And the question related to that is still what resources do we have to invest in that particular facility measured against the amount of student usage versus community usage. What's the right scope for that project? And we are still working on a proposal that we'll bring before this board.
Thank you, and please, if we can address the runoff as well. But thank you that I'm glad the Oversight Committee is gonna look at this as well. Thank you.
Can I add a quick
Of
comment?
course, Mr. Ortega.
Without opening a can of worms, was there ever consideration of air conditioning for that facility?
There is. That was part of it. Looking at Mr. Rodriguez, who's been a part of those discussions as well. When you open the roof, the cost associated with heating and air conditioning, it is the single gym in our district, our single main gym in our district that doesn't currently have air conditioning and heating. And if you've ever been in a meeting in there in the winter, it's also freezing, and in the summer it's really hot.
I've had basketball games in there.
So the part of the scope we're exploring is if we're going to re-roof the entire facility, it is the time to consider HVAC. The HVAC component is a relatively small piece of it, you know. So, but I'll share with you kind of the estimated cost right now. We're looking like a $12 million renovation, with the HVAC being in the $1 to $1.5 million range. So it's a expensive pill to swallow, you know, but when we weren't planning on it. So we will continue to develop that scope and at some point bring a proposal before the board.
Because I know sometimes when we do facilities, we look at, you know, what's the usage of students that will use it, but we also have a responsibility for the community to use it. So, I mean, it is, you know, maybe students only use it 25%, but the other 75% is the community that we serve. So there's still some due diligence that we have to provide that service.
All right, anything further? Okay. All right, thank you for raising that issue, Mr. Lopez. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor say aye of approving 15.12.
Aye.
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 Any opposed? No opposed, it passes 5-0. Okay, so now we get to go to item number 16, the Local Control and Accountability Plan Midterm Report 25-26.
And to share with you more about this plan, which does not need approval, it just needs to be reviewed by Mr. Liggett, our Director of Assessment and Accountability.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here tonight for your legally required LCAP. The LCAP, as a reminder, is our local control and accountability plan. And just for review, the local aspect means that this is a plan that is designed by and for Whittier Union. This is our plan. It's not imposed on us by anyone else. It's developed using stakeholder input. The control addresses the fact that the plan gives Whittier Union control over how to use state funding, and that's about 75% of our revenue is tied to funds related to the LCAP, with an emphasis on serving what the law defines as high needs students, which are socioeconomically disadvantaged students, foster youth, and English learners, and that makes up approximately 78% of our population. And the accountability part of the plan is it allows us to set goals and then define and measure success using our own metrics. And so we are in the middle of year 2 of what is a 3-year LCAP process. So the process actually began back in June of 2024 when the board adopted a new 3-year LCAP plan. So last year was year 1, you received a mid-year update this time last year, and then at the end of last year in June, the board adopted the annual update to the LCAP. We then have a responsibility to submit that to the county by July 1st, and then the county looks over our plan, and then in August of 2025, LACO gave us our official approval of the LCAP annual update. So same deal this year. We're almost at sort of the halfway point of our LCAP plan because it's the mid-year of year 2, so that's what you're going to get tonight. Then later this year, in June, we'll give you an annual update, and you'll have the opportunity to hold a public hearing, as you did last year, and to adopt revisions that we will again submit to LACO for approval. That means next year is a really big year, because then next year we're not only going to do an annual update for you, we're also going to work on a brand new 3-year plan. So that's going to be really exciting to work on with our stakeholders going into next year. The way we do our LCAP process in Whittier Union, because we are required to, even if it wasn't a good idea, which it is, but we are required to bring in stakeholder input into the process. And we do it 3 times a year. Round 1 is typically in early October. Round 2 is in January. We actually just concluded it a little while ago. And then round 3 is coming up in April. We do our stakeholder input in kind of 2 pieces. We have what we call our LCAP task force, which is our staff input component. That's classified staff, certificated staff, and administrators. We actually centralize that particular process. So over a 3-day period, we have 2 of our school sites come each day with a team of folks to go through a variety of activities, and I'll share a little bit with you in a few minutes. But our LCAP advisory, that's our community outreach for parents and for students. We actually have decentralized that. Those are all hosted at the school sites with the premise that parents and community members are generally more comfortable coming to events at their home school site as opposed to coming down here to the district office. So a little bit about what our process looked like this year. So round 1, that early October, what we were doing then is we were doing a deep analysis in our LCAP task force and advisory of all of our end of year data from 2024-2025. This is the data we reviewed with you in the October study session as part of our measurable targets as laid out in Board Policy 0200. And what our site teams did is they took a look at plans that they've been developing and incorporated that data from last year to identify growth areas, to try to measure things that have been working or maybe not working as well as they would like, with an emphasis on 2 particular student groups that the board has made an area of focus for us. Our English learners, or our multilingual learners, as Pioneer High School named them earlier last month, and our male students. Now, we've never wanted to be exclusionary with this. We want to emphasize the performance of those students. We want to move the needle with those particular student groups. But, you know, as I remind all of our teams during the LCAP task force process, if you see data indicators for other student groups that needs attention, please don't dismiss that or disregard that because we have a focus on our multilingual learners and our male students. So that was round 1 back in October. Then round 2 in January, we get a whole new round of data to look at because what happens in November, December is the California School Dashboard comes out, which is still based on our 24-25 data, except it's kind of the state's analysis of it, their take where they assign us colors based on how well we're performing and how well we're growing. We did a particularly deep dive on 2 indicators in the dashboard in January. One of them is our English Learner Progress Indicator, which, as we've discussed before, is absolutely a growth area for Whittier Union. And then also on college career readiness. Now, college career readiness, we wanted to do a deep dive there. Not because the dashboard was bad, it was actually good. We're green in college and career readiness, but at the same time, college and career readiness is a part of every single school's mission and vision statement. It is really central to the core of what we're trying to do in Whittier Union. And the college career indicator on the dashboard is really, really intricate, and so it was a good opportunity to dive in and figure out new ways we can move the needle to help more students demonstrate their college and career readiness in ways defined by the state of California. In addition to looking at the dashboard data, by the time we got to January, we had completed a semester of school, so that meant we had an opportunity to also work in some data from semester 1, which I'll be sharing with you in a few minutes. It gave the site teams an opportunity to look at their site plans, do kind of a mid-year inventory of what they've had a chance to start, what they plan to start in the spring, what they think is a really good idea, but they know it's going to take more time to get off the ground and table for next year. All of that kind of with the lens of the data that they were looking at throughout the day. And then round 3, still to come in April, the plan is again to look at those site plans and now start to really think out towards next year. And the part that we will wrap into round 3 are the budget considerations, because the schools are doing a lot of really great things, but everything that they're doing requires resources, and in many cases we are talking about money. And sometimes you have some really, really good ideas, but when you look at the financial side of it, maybe the cost effectiveness isn't there. So that's got to be part of the consideration when we start planning for next year. At that point, we know that business services will have an idea of what the site allocations will look like, and so the sites can wrap that into their analysis as they move forward. So some of the semester 1 data that our site teams got to take a look at, they got to get really deep in it, but we're just going to give you an overview tonight. The first is a metric we use in Whittier Union, our student success rates. This is the percentage of grades, all grades issued semester 1 that were a C- or higher. And I've given you the last 3 years of data so you can kind of see what we're looking at. So 23-24, 89%, up to 90%, again, as a whole district, including alternative ed in 24-25. And then we held steady at 90% this year's semester 1 in 25-26. When you specifically break out and look at male students, we do continue to see a bit of a gender gap there. 87% 2 years ago, 89% last year, a little bit of a drop down to 88% this most recent year. And then our English learners, our multilingual learners, have shown very steady results at 80%. Certainly an area we'd like to move the needle, but the consistency is there. And just as a reminder, this is a percentage of grades, not a percentage of students. I think that's always important to keep in mind. The inverse of the student success rate is basically the DNF rate. And what I would want to celebrate here is that with all the grades given in Whittier Union semester 1, only 10% of the grades were D's and F's. And I think that's a pretty remarkable accomplishment by students, by staff, by all of our stakeholders in our community. Now, another very important metric for us, Dr. Moriarty talked earlier tonight about the importance of graduation and how that's one of our #1 priorities, not just in alternative ed, but in all of our campuses. We are a high school district, so it's hard not to look at graduation as one of our most important metrics. So we have on target for graduation, which is based on the number of credits that students have earned. This is a grade level indicator, as obviously 11th graders have the opportunity to earn more credits than 9th graders. And so we have our percentage of students who hit their grade level target each year. So in 23-24, 88% for the district, up to 90% last year, and then up again to 91% in 25-26. With our male students, we also saw an increase from 2 years ago, holding steady at 89%. With our English learners, we did see a little bit of a decrease here. We've been at 80%, holding steady for the previous 2 years. It did drop to 78% this year. And in doing a little bit of analysis there, it looked like we had a slightly elevated fail rate for multilingual learners in their math and science classes this year. And so this is all data that the sites have access to and have been diving into, both through the LCAP process and their own internal processes, so that they can work to address those students' needs. This is the slide I'm super excited about. This is actually based on, this whole slide is based on a question I received a year ago during this presentation, where we take a look at our senior on-target rate, and we ask ourselves, okay, how does that project out to what our graduation rate is gonna look like? So if we go back a few years, look at the class of 2023, at this time, with that class in 2023, 89.8, almost 90% of our students were on target for graduation, and again, that's district-wide, all dead, and the comprehensives. And then the final graduation rate, when all was said and done with the class of 23, was about 91%. So about a 1% growth from the end of the first semester to the end of the year. Class of 2024, those were our COVID freshmen. Those were the students that started off really off target, almost 89% on target though by the time they started, got through the middle of their senior year. They actually set what at the time was a district record for graduation rate at 93%. And then for the class of 2025, they had a great on-target rate at the end of semester 1 last year, 91.3% a year ago this time. They then eclipsed that district record, set a brand new district record of 93.6%. And I think you can see why I'm excited about this slide. Look at where our seniors are right now, 93.9%. If that doesn't change at all, that's a new record. Now, I don't know how much people are into gambling or making predictions, especially right after the Super Bowl, but we've been going up at least a percentage point at minimum, and so I think we're looking at a very positive graduation rate for the class of 2026, and that's something to get very excited about. And thank you, Lily Bo, for putting the nice graphic of the star on my slide there. Much appreciated. So with that, that's an update on our LCAP process for the year. I'll be back in June to give you the annual update and recommend any revisions to the plan as we move forward to LACO at that point, to LACO approval, and I'll take any questions you might have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Liggett, and I know for the board is a very extensive report that's also attached to the agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
But any questions from anyone? I think we're going to save them until June.
Works for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, now we move on to 1602, review of initial proposal between the Whittier Adult Teachers Association and Whittier Union High School District. This is just a review and accept kind of thing for a file. Okay. Any questions from any members of the board? No questions? All right, and then we move to 16.03, which is review of initial proposal between the Whittier Union High School District and Whittier Adult Teachers Association. This is our proposal to WADA. Any questions, comments from the board? There appear to be none. All right, so now let's go to 17.01. Dr. Oviedo, let me pass it on to you to give the staff report on that.
So 1701, we're excited, as was shared earlier, to have a final agreement with our CSEA. It did take a little bit of time, and that's because we had a lot of language and articles that were open, and we are recommending approval of this agreement.
All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion to approve the, let me just get my title correct, amendment to the master agreement between the California School Employees Association and the Whittier Union High School District, moved by Mr. Lopez, seconded by Ms. Conchola. Any discussion? Mr. Lopez? No? Okay, well, I will make a couple comments. I want to share with CSEA in particular how happy we are that we were able to reach this agreement. It took us longer than I think either of us wanted, but through hard work, perseverance, direct discussions, and focusing on the issues at hand, we were able to get there. We obviously want to make sure that our relationship remains strong. We're going to hit some bumpy roads ahead over the next few years, given the California state budget, and only together can we stay united and can we stay strong. And we're looking forward to working with you, that we will be respectful with each other, and we will focus on issues, not people, and really move forward to serve our students and our families and all of our staff. So on behalf of myself, and I'm confident that the board shares my sentiments, congratulations to you, congratulations to us for reaching this agreement.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, so without further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, let the record reflect, even though we're not in court, the vote was 5-0, approval of the CSEA contract. Yay. All right, so now let's go to 1702, which is consider approval to amend the timeline to notify Tri-Cities Regional Occupational Program of efforts to study the feasibility of withdrawing from the Joint Powers Authority, resolution number 2526-28. Can I get a motion for this? So we can start discussion. Moved by Dr. Castaneda Calleros, seconded by Ms. Conchola. Can you give us a brief staff report, either Mr. Jamero or Dr. Oviedo, just to give us a context for this?
Thank you, Mr. Jamero.
I'm happy to. Resolution 2526-28 would supersede Resolution 2526-22, which was passed in December, which established a potential withdrawal date from the Tri-Cities RP Joint Powers Authority. Effective June 30th, 2026, this new resolution would extend the date to June 30th, 2027. Part of the recommendation on the extension, as the board is aware, the process to withdraw from Tri-Cities comes with significant programmatic decisions, as well as financial considerations, including multiple topics, including the potential development of CTE credentialed salary schedule for Whittier Union prior to onboarding CTE instructors. This is a negotiable item. We look forward to discussing this with our Teachers Association. The transition of grant funding is also a consideration. Currently, Tri-Cities ROP applies on our behalf for CTIC, or California Technical Education Incentive Grant, and K-12 Strong Workforce Grant dollars. Whittier Union will have to apply for and receive these grants to supplemental cost of the CTE pathways, which we hope to establish. Additionally, the distribution of assets, both financial and real physical assets, maintained by Tri-Cities, consideration for how those assets would be distributed would need to be addressed. And then lastly, kind of one of the areas that needs to be considered is the current and future financial liabilities that may be held by Tri-Cities RLP themselves. We need to discuss on how those current and ongoing liabilities would be distributed or addressed by the existing members of the JPA. So as we continue to work through this, we've had several conversations, both with Tri-Cities RLP leadership, along with colleagues across Southern California and actually Northern California as well, who have gone through this experience of dissolving a JPA, or at least considering the withdrawal from a JPA. Both our colleagues at Roland Unified, who has had some experience with this, actually in the last weeks was able to speak with Dr. Ron Carruth, retired superintendent at El Dorado High School, who had a similar experience when he first arrived at El Dorado. Two different approaches. One was a complete withdrawal. Dr. Carruth's was more of a downsizing, and where the ROP still maintained some operating function in terms of grant application and retrieval, with most of their responsibilities being distribution of resources and responsibilities of managing the program and managing staffing falling to each of the partners in the JPA. So we're exploring all of that. That's a lot to say. We recommend that we extend this. Roland, Superintendent Flores at Roland indicated that his process lasted greater than 2 years. So looking at the runway that we're anticipating as we resolve all of these issues and come to some concrete recommendations, we're looking at extending another year.
Thank you so much, appreciate that. Any comments, questions from the board?
Just one.
Yes, please, Dr. Casanero-Calleros.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Mr. Jamero, for your presentation. Be voting for this tonight. I appreciate the extra time, the extra runway that it will give us to be able to make a very thoughtful decision as you continue to explore options. I'm intrigued by the downsizing option. You know, I'd like to hear more about that in the coming months. And I also, for the benefit of Mr. Urdiaga, the board has received public comment. In addition to the comment received tonight, we have received comments from leaders of the community, including Trustee Esther Renteria from the Rancho Unified School District, as well as other leaders who have asked us to be very cautious and thoughtful and thorough as we consider this decision. So I think tonight's resolution helps us do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else from the board? Yes, Mr. Lopez.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, Madam President. And thank you, Mr. Chimero, for presentation. And I'm going to respectfully dissent from this resolution. I've spoken with ROP superintendent, members of the public, and others. Many share the concern that withdrawing from Tri-Cities ROP is not the best interest of our district. At this point, there are no identifiable cost savings at this point associated with immediate withdrawal. Whittier Union staff is given more than 2 months to develop cost savings plans, yet no concrete proposal has been presented to justify moving forward. In addition, ROP employees fall under counselors and CalPERS, and assuming staff or restructuring would result in significant ongoing pension and benefit costs to the district that would outweigh any speculative savings. What this process has created is, like I mentioned before, heightened anxiety and uncertainty among ROP employees. Those livelihoods remain in question without clear justification. Continuing down this path, even with an extended timeline, creates instability without clear fiscal pragmatic pragmatic benefit. Given the lack of demonstrated financial advantage, okay, the absence of viable alternative plan, the impact of staff morale, I believe it is prudent and responsible for the board to pause and suspend further withdrawal efforts at this moment. And I'm going to do a substitute motion. Madam President, I move that the Board of Trustees suspend any and all efforts related to the district's withdrawal from the Tri-Cities Regional Occupational Program Joint Powers Agreement, including implementation of this resolution and any amended timelines, and direct staff to cease transition activities. Thank you.
What we'll do is, in a second, have you actually email that or write it down so that Olga has it for the minutes. There is a substitute motion that in essence and spirit seeks to supersede the current motion and ask that we stop any study or efforts to move away from ROP. Is there a second? Having that there's no second, the substitute motion will not be considered.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to comment a little bit on this resolution, and I respect very much so Mr. Lopez's perspective. He sits on the ROP board with me, and we get to see directly from the students and the staff sort of what the services are. But the reason I support this resolution is that I do think that there could be identifiable savings. There could be greater control by Whittier Union. There could be more nimbleness for us with the development of programs that actually, will make us, I think, a better CTE offer. But I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite there that we'll ultimately make that decision. But what I am interested in is making a knowledgeable decision. And my thought had always been from the very beginning that we would not rush this, that we would assess it, get the pros and the cons, and make a determination when we have full information. So I support this resolution because I do think we need the additional time. I think Mr. Lopez has raised some good points. I think that Mr. Gemero in his presentation recognized that there are some of those same points that need to be reviewed. So I would urge my fellow board members to vote in favor of the resolution to allow us an opportunity to see if there are alternative ways to provide CTE education. by the district that is more nimble, that is more flexible, that provides us the ability to provide better services to our students. If any other comments, it's obviously just a long time. Mr. Again.
If I can get an update or a brief just synopsis of why we're doing this, so that it will help keep me up to speed of where, why this is being recommended or suggested.
I'll start, and then I'll let Mr. Jamero or Dr. Oviedo. So the resolution was brought to the board in December to give notice to Tri-Cities ROP of our intent to potentially withdraw. That was done for legal reasons, and we had to give notice by a certain date, which I forget what the date was, but December 30th. So we adopted that. Even at the time we adopted it, we recognized that even though we had to give them notice for June 30, 2026, that was very highly unlikely. But for the reasons, I'll tell you why I voted for it, was for the reasons I've identified, which is that I think that I do have some concerns that Tri-Cities ROP may have administrative overhead costs that may be duplicative. I think that we can be more nimble. I've seen what our teachers and administrators can do with respect to the education of our students, so the CTE programs, to obviously expand. This is not an effort to contract any of those services, but rather can we do more, or can we do the same with the same level of resources? But obviously not knowing if it's fiscally possible or responsible to do it, but we wanted to explore it. That's my reason for voting for it.
So just historically, ROP was created in the 1970s before comprehensive high school districts handled CTE. Many school districts in the Great Recession, when there was Tier 3 funding, and that is where ROP money, we passed through ROP money, our Whittier Union money to ROP. Many school districts at that time dissolved their ROP. Southeast ROP, the La Puente Valley ROP that Mr. Jamero mentioned, Whittier Union chose not to at that time. Earlier this year, we started a budget review committee, and one of the recommendations out of that budget review committee, which is involving many of our staff, certificated classified administrators, was to take into consideration the withdrawal from ROP, and specifically that we could have better coherence with our CTE programs if those employees were brought into Whittier Union. There is, on our initial first flush, as Mr. Jamero has been looking at salaries of non-student facing staff in ROP, and the dollars are significant. And we believe that if we were to withhold those dollars and apply for our own CTIG and strong workforce grant money, that we would see more direct student services to our students. So those are the factors that we are unpacking and started in late December with the approval of the resolution.
So you're asking for an extension to create a plan to how to do that? Is that?
To do a full analysis of the cost of whether or not it does make sense for Whittier Union to absorb, ultimately to provide all CTE to Whittier Union and have a lesser footprint of ROP.
I'll just add the two pieces I think that are challenging to investigate until we get a concrete understanding of what our CTE credential salary schedule would look like. We can't estimate the cost, right? If we took every single section offered by Tri-Cities ROP and offered the same number in Whittier Union, what would it cost us, right? And that analysis would need to be done with the redevelopment of the salary schedule, and then in concert with our statutory benefits and health and welfare benefit compensation packet. That's doable, right? And there's a clear path forward with that, with our associations to establish that, and that would give us a better estimate on what those ongoing costs would be for Whittier Union. The more challenging one is going to require an actuarial study. The potential ongoing retirement liability. Assembly Bill 1912 in 2018 required member agencies of the Joint Powers Authority that dissolves or terminates its CalPERS contract on or after January 1st of 2019 assumes 100% of the JPA's unfunded pension liability. So in order to do that, we're gonna need an actuarial study performed to determine what would be that ongoing liability, not only to Whittier Union, but to El Rancho Unified School District as well. It mandates that members mutually agree on the apportionment of that liability, and if not, the CalPERS board will determine that apportionment. But it does give the CalPERS board additional authority to seek payment on those. So that's a piece that will take a bit of time as well. And again, the other items I discussed have a pretty clear path forward. That one, I can't speculate on how much that's gonna be. And that will definitely need to be a factor in the ongoing cost potential for doing just what we're discussing.
Thank you, Mr. DeMuro. Did you have another comment, Mr. DeMuro? I'm sorry, Mr. Chilton.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Jamera, I appreciate the additional information. I personally appreciate the additional year so that we can really thoroughly make a good decision with all the information that we need, which we don't have at the moment. And you know, we have a lot of history with this partnership. So I want to have as much information so that we can actually make a more educated decision and vote. So you know, so I appreciate even the other piece that you shared just right now. For me, it makes a big difference in terms of you know, additional information. So I appreciate your work. Thanks.
Mr. Lopez.
Oh, no, first. The employees, ROP, they're ROP employees, they're not really your union?
That's correct.
Okay, so they're not promised. So if they were told, they're not.
It's similar to the JPA with PTC, People Transportation, where we would, you would do a reduction in force, and then Whittier Union would onboard those teachers for our programs.
So,
but that what Mr. Jamero said is CalPERS, and so we're gonna need help from ROP to identify who are CalPERS members versus CalSTRS members, so that we can do a better understanding. And I think that our two board members who serve on that Tri-Cities ROP board, we would need your help in ROP pursuing that.
Anything else, Mr.?
no, I just said, so those employees now were subject, they possibly thought they were gonna get deferred our March 15th.
And that's why we're giving the extension.
Okay, so they were like, all right, now nervous, I'm gonna get a March 15th, and now they're getting a reprieve for another year, possibly?
Yes.
Okay, so they were all nervous.
Mr. Lopez.
Oh, thank you, and thank you, Mr. Jamero. And again, we were given a very strict timeline, and my understanding, I spoke to the timeline, and this is my understanding that we can get something a month or two. Still haven't received anything. It's concerning because we have some employees, just like Trustee Ortega mentioned, that the employees were giving us really a timeline, 6-month timeline, yet, you know, all these changes, and of course it can cause a lot of anxiety. We shouldn't be playing with someone's, I guess, anxiety, so to speak. And I think it was a bad approach. It was a bad approach. We have, you know, ROP, you know, we have a meeting on Thursday, and ROP board, you know, is going to discuss a parallel study. And, you know, it's already online, so it's everyone for everyone to see. You know, there's going to be a cost comparison, JPA model versus independent district delivery model, funding and revenue risk considerations, net fiscal impact, high level considerations, things of that sort. Just want to pause. That's all. Thank you.
Alrighty, are there any other comments? Without any further comments, I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed on the motion?
Madam
Do you want to do a roll
President?
call?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Let's do a roll call on the motion to approve. Give me a second. A motion to approve to pass a resolution to amend the timeline to notify Tri-Cities Regional Occupational Program of efforts to study the feasibility of withdrawing from the Joint Powers Authority, resolution number 2526-28. Roll call, please.
Trustee Castaneda Calleros.
Aye.
Trustee Urtiaga.
Only because I haven't, I need more information, I'm gonna abstain from this one.
Trustee Lopez.
No.
Trustee Canchola.
Aye.
Trustee Rodriguez Moisa.
Yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I think that was important.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, now let's move to item 17.03, consider approval of resolution number 2526-25, establishing a new U.S. bank account called SV Bright Futures College CTE Scholarship Fund. Who has this one, Mr. Camaro?
This one. Yes, this resolution would authorize the establishment of a new scholarship account with U.S. Bank for the Sierra Vista Bright Futures College CTE Scholarship Fund. As you may recall, last month the board accepted an anonymous donation of $3,000 to establish this fund. I've spoken with the anonymous donor who has indicated that they intend this scholarship to be a perpetual scholarship with future donations intended to fund future years. Therefore, in order to most effectively account for these funds, to avoid commingling with other scholarship resources, it is absolutely an accounting best practice to establish its own account. We ask approval of this resolution.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Lopez, seconded by Ms. Conchola. Any other questions after Mr. Jamaro's presentation? Doesn't look like it. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion passes 5-0. Let's go to 1704. Consider approval of resolution 2526-26, emergency resolution, public project for Whittier High School auditorium. I think this goes to Mrs. Jamero as well.
It does. Thank you, Madam President. This emergency resolution is for the repairs to the Vic Lopez Auditorium at Whittier High School. Specific repairs include the auditorium roof as well as ceilings, walls, and electrical components in the sound room that was damaged during the heavy rainfall we received in January. This emergency resolution would allow the district to streamline the necessary repairs and address safety concerns by bypassing the formal bidding process. It is our intent, however, to solicit multiple proposals to ensure best value in a time frame that will keep the auditorium available and safe for schools in the community. We recommend approval of this resolution.
Thank you so much. I know, Mr. Lopez, you have a question.
No, I think we have the motion to approve.
Well, I don't have a motion? I apologize. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll move approval for discussion, and I'd like to speak to this item as well.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Motion by Dr. Castaneda Calleros, seconded by Ms. Conchola. Let me go ahead and give you the floor, Dr. Castaneda Calleros.
I'm happy to defer to Mr. Lopez. Did you want to speak, Mr. Lopez?
No.
Oh, okay. I understand the emergency nature of the situation, and I know we probably want to pivot as quickly as we can to get the repairs done. But I just want to ask, in terms of the relation to our PLA, is there still some consideration given to the pool of firms within the PLA, or do we completely bypass that pool and just help me understand how that intersects,
Sure.
if you can understand my question.
Absolutely. I believe the question is there a connection to the project labor agreement, our community workforce agreement that's in place for projects? I will tell you that the auditorium roofing project was not one of the selected projects that is governed by the community workforce agreement. We can do have a pool of architects, a pool of construction management services, inspectors, et cetera, that have been approved by this board for a 5-year term that can be used for preliminary work or preliminary assessment of the facility. Primary issue is water damage and moisture that continues to exist in the ceiling of the control panel room, which, as you know, with moisture in ceiling tiles, that creates some safety issues that we want to remediate immediately.
And let me, if I may ask you to answer it just a little more directly.
Okay.
It is not a workforce agreement project as delineated in that agreement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lopez?
Yeah, thank you. And I think Mr. Castaneda Calleros actually asked the question. And specifically though, you said there were multiple vendors, correct? Or contractors?
Under CUPCA, correct?
How many?
We can, again, depending on the cost of the project, we may be able to do some of the work under CUPCA. Ultimately, we're looking to perform the work under this emergency resolution that will allow us to informally bid, which will mean request specific quotes for repairs on this particular project without having to go through the more formal advertising process, which takes time, formal vetting of each of the vendors, again, which also takes time, and then before award of bid. So we're looking to look at the kind of most direct path forward on this, knowing that the auditorium is heavily utilized in our district by both community members as well as our students and school programs. Right now, the control room is closed. So we have bypassed control to lighting and sound to a remote control board, but the room is sealed. You know, as repairs, it's not deemed to be safe. Concerns for damaged ceiling tiles, damaged paneling, as well as I mentioned, the moisture content of that particular ceiling section.
Thank you. I know Mr. Lopez has some follow-up.
Just, what's the timeline on such a project?
Upon approval, we get started right away. We already have some ideas. And I'll let Mr. Rodriguez to see if he would like to contribute to the discussion a little bit, but we're looking to get started right away to minimize the downtime. You know, what's realistic on that? There's several repairs that need to be made. We have patched the roof. The roof has not been repaired. That'll be the most significant component to it. And if we get a wet spring, that's a concern that will have additional damage to property inside the building. We lucked out in that the sound and lighting equipment that did get wet came back on. We didn't turn it on right away, so we waited a few weeks before we tested that. We were lucky that it's still functional. But in terms of the necessary repairs, the ceiling repairs, I'll look at Mr. Rodriguez, who might have a better estimate on the time frame.
Good evening, and that's a fair question. For the roofing, with approval this evening, we have 2 of 3 quotes that are in. So with approval and with the weather that we are probably having right now, combined with the weather we're expecting next week, we would hope to have this project started 2 weeks out for the roofing. So the first priority is to get the roofing watertight. And then once we have a watertight roof, we will go ahead and start peeling back the areas where we have experienced moisture to start the identification, how far back we have to get to dry. And then that'll drive the workload, the demolition workload. And then we'll see on when we'll start to build back, because we're pretty confident that we can get it demoed, get it safe and functional, and to get us to summer, as long as we're watertight. And then when the building goes dark over summer, do our reconstruction.
Okay, you mentioned the start date. What's the end date?
That's to be determined, because we do not know the extent of the damage.
Okay.
And due to the historic nature of that, the stucco and the plaster, that's some specialized work we would take our time on.
Thank you.
Any other?
Is the plan, I heard you say reconstruction, so is the plan in the summer to redo the whole roof, ceiling, or?
The reconstruction would be whatever the damage is, whatever is wet, to have that repaired this summer. The actual project for the auditorium is further down the long-range facility master.
That's a super old building, right? I mean, what percent that damage is, like 25% of the top or ceiling? What would you guesstimate?
It's much less than 25% of the overall structure. What Mr. Rodriguez is referring to, the auditorium is in the queue for other renovations as well. This has become kind of the emergency repair situation. The damage is going to get worse if we continue to get moisture, and trying to address that to kind of protect what's still okay. Repair the roof, tear out everything that needs to be replaced, repair drywall, ceilings, those sorts of things, and then put it back similarly to the way it is now, obviously in non-moist form, and you got to go from there. So that's kind of our plan, but there is future plans for looking at other major renovations in that particular facility that have been identified.
All right, now I can't remember from my notes. Did I have a motion?
Yes.
I did have a motion, thank you. Any other discussion before we take a vote? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes 5-0. Next, we're going to go to 17.05, consider approval of resolution number 2526-29, reaffirming support for immigrant students and families. I'll start on this one because I was one who asked that this be put on the agenda. I think that the start of 2026 was a difficult one for some of us who are families of immigrants, who work with immigrants, who identify with immigrants, and particularly when you saw everything that was going on in Minnesota and how strong that community has been and inspiring they've been. The picture and the treatment of Leah Bornejo, that photo that captured our hearts, obviously the deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. When I look at that and I think about our families and our communities here, it was my sense that as a board, we'd previously passed last year our resolution supporting our immigrant families, but that if we can, we should do something. And what I was going to share was that when I was at the speech yesterday with Justice Sotomayor, one of the things she reminded me of was the preamble to the United States Constitution that says we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, and then we lay out the values of justice and others. And what she reminded us of, those of us who were there, was that if you stand by and do nothing, you have not made us a better society. You have not made us a better country. And even though this was already on the agenda before that dinner, it reinforced to me why it's so important to have this resolution to be passed by this board, given the families that we serve. And I urge my fellow board members to particularly pay attention to the actual resolutions of what it is we are resolving to do here. I do want to thank Dr. Oviedo for drafting this, and I think really capturing our voice. I think you captured the voice of what the previous resolution was, and what our sense of that we want to ensure our students know that they have a constitutional right to a public education, that we will ensure their safety to the best of our ability, that we will ensure to the best of our ability that they are studying in a place in which they do not feel threatened, and in fact that we are reaffirming the legislative passage of bills that our California State Legislature has passed. So I don't think it's normal for the board president to make it as a motion, but I am going to make this motion to approve this resolution for the reasons that I've outlined here. I do think there is an urgency, and I think that families need to know that we are a district that supports them and wants all of our students to work, to study in a place that is where they feel safe. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll give this, who wants a second? I'll give it to Ms. Controla.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, you can read it, the resolution. I think it was very well done. It's simply reaffirming some of the previous positions we took, and also obviously confirming our commitment to the state laws that have been passed. And quite frankly, ensuring our staff knows they are not going to inquire about a family's immigration status. We're not going to facilitate federal immigration enforcement efforts that are not constitutional. I will get off any other comments. Thank you all for indulging me.
So I have a few comments. I think it's more than ever, it's really necessary for us to take a very strong stand on immigration or support for our immigrant students. Our community is filled with fear at the moment. You know, we've experienced ICE coming to not only to Whittier and Santa Fe Springs, but other local communities. So there has been a lot of presence that has stimulated fear. Some of our community members have been taken by ICE, so our families have been impacted. And so more than ever, I think we need to be in solidarity with our immigrant students, and we need to make sure that they feel safe, because that's the only way they're going to learn. If they're in a constant state of fear, they're not going to have the ability to learn like we want them to and to be successful academically. So I'm glad and I'm very proud that we have taken a strong stance in the past, and that we continue to move forward in that same, vein in terms of really supporting our students and being hopefully a role model for other districts to do the same. Thank you.
Mr. Lopez, did you have comments?
I agree with you with Trustee Jola, and share the same sentiments. We are, I think, in my opinion, we are the leaders addressing this issue, and unfortunately, the city of Whittier could do something similar, and they're not. And there's definitely an urgent need. There is, there's anxiety from, not only from students, but this community itself. And I thank you, Trustee Rodriguez Moisa, for bringing this and reaffirming our support. And here's I do have a question on cameras, Dr. Oviedo. Maybe this resolution does speak to that. Is there? I have a few questions. One, do we have cameras that use facial recognition to? Can that data be shared with, say, ICE agents or ICE asked to be shared? Such information, and is it on the internet?
So no, it is not on the internet. No to facial recognition software. We don't have high definition cameras and facial recognition software. We would not share this in one of the resolutions with adjustment to the AB 49 and SB 98 and AB 495. That first bullet where it talks about prohibit staff from granting campus access to immigration officers or sharing student family information without a judicial warrant, we believe that would encompass any efforts. We would not share any information with ICE agents.
Thank you.
And I'm in agreement, I think, without repeating a lot of the same comments with my colleagues here, and that we serve a community that is being intimidated, that is in fear, and the constitutional rights of our students to be at school is being taken away, or the fear is being placed in them. So I definitely applaud the district for doing this, and I know some of our parents, I'm pretty sure some of the parents are wondering what's the district stance, because they see some of our local municipalities that are maybe not taking a stand, so they want to see what we're doing. So regardless of where you land in red, white, I think this is something that I think it's important that our families know where we stand as a district. So I'll support it.
Dr. Castellera Calleros.
Thank you. I join in each of my colleagues and comments that have been made. Madam President, I salute you for bringing this forward tonight. I think time is of the essence, and I'll try to be quick with my 3 points. Point one, on Tuesday, which is now yesterday for me, I sat down with Linda Sanchez, and talking about working with her members of Congress to try to fight for reform of DHS and try to withhold dollars that are trying to embolden ICE. And I was telling her, the polls are on your side. Stand firm and make that threat to shut down the government if the reforms are not agreed to. And this resolution, I think, gives the leaders at the federal level who are fighting for those reforms because of the blood that was shed in Minnesota and the anxiety that's been heightened in our own community. And so I think even though I'm not going to ask that the be a further resolved clause change, and I'm going to support this as is, but I'd like there to be an understanding that this resolution be shared with our federal leaders so that they know we have their back and we're joining them in this fight, and also that it be shared with their state legislators, since we're referencing state bills, and that way they know that we're appreciative of state laws that have been passed in Sacramento, and that it be shared with our municipal leaders so that they know we have the courage to stand up for our families, and and maybe they will have the same courage down the road. And then the last comment I'll make is, I know we're in the process of planning our joint board meetings this summer, and I'd like to be able to maybe agendize this so that way we can share this with our KA partners and say, look, if we did this in last fall, we did this again in February, we reaffirmed. If you haven't already done so, we encourage you to do the same for your families, because your kids are going to become our kids, your families are our families. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that will be the understanding, Dr. Oviedo, unless I hear, I don't think it needs to be formally in the resolution, but do we have a consensus that is the sense of the board to have this sent over to the state and federal officials, and then shared with our superintendents. Thank you. All right, without any further comments, let's take a vote. Do you want a roll call or just a voice vote? Let's do a roll call.
Trustee Castaneda Callados.
Aye.
Trustee Urtiega.
Aye.
Trustee Lopez.
Aye.
Trustee Canchola.
Aye.
Trustee Rodriguez Moisa.
Yes. Okay, thank you all very much for that. Let's move to our next item, which is (1706). We get to vote for the California School Boards Association Delegate Assembly representatives. So if you'll recall from our last board meeting, we thought we might have missed some sort of deadline to nominate folks, but it looks like both Mr. Lopez and I made the cutoff. And now we have an opportunity to cast 6 votes. I will note that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 individuals. And so I don't know if folks had, I think there was a delegate ballot and there was some background information. Mr. Lopez, since you have sat on the CSBA Delegate Assembly, would you do us the honor of making the motion?
Yes. Thank you, Madam President. I have had the pleasure of working with individuals, mostly the incumbents. As you can see from incumbents they have an asterisk next to them. John Contreras from El Rancho, Esther Mejia from El Rancho, and then there's Alicia Magnano from Santa Monica, and then there's Ann Phillips, and then Linda Salomon. So those are the ones I had the pleasure of working with. So I'm being selfish and regionally. So like, for example, El Rancho, Downey, and of course Whittier Union, I suggest that we go with those. How many would that be?
6.
That'll be 6, yeah. So I'm just, again, I'll be selfish and just to focus on those, because we carry a lot of weight, and we are an influence at the state level with CSBA. So that's my thought. Please.
So let me just.
I second the motion,
was just gonna say, motioned by Mr. Lopez to cast our 6 ballots for the 2 trustees from El Rancho Unified School District, the 2 trustees from Whittier Union High School District, and the 2 trustees from Downey Unified School District.
Well, just one from.
There's two from Downey though, there's Tyrone, Condi, and Linda.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, or did you want somebody else?
Oh, no, that's Linda.
Linda and Tyrone?
No, just, again, I have the pleasure of working with the incumbents. So that will be John, Esther, of course, myself, and then, of course, you, Madam President, and Linda.
And Linda? So that's 5.
Wait,
So Tyrone would make 6.
Yeah, there's 2 Downey, 2 Whittier, and then 2 El Rancho.
oh,
But did you want Alicia Mignano?
yes,
from
Alicia,
Santa Monica?
yes, from
Monica?
Santa Monica, yes.
Got it, okay.
Yes.
So, let me rephrase his motion, make sure I've got it right,
Yes.
and then we'll see if there's a second. Mr. Lopez, as the experienced delegate to the CSEA Delegate Assembly, Region 24, is moving to cast our 6 votes for John Contreras from El Rancho Unified, Esther Mejia from El Rancho Unified, Jaime Lopez from Whittier Union High School District, Alicia Mignano from Santa Monica, Malibu, USD, myself, Irma Rodriguez Moisa from Whittier Union, and Linda Solomon Saldana from Downey Unified. That's your motion.
That's my motion.
Okay. Is there a second?
Yeah, Russell second.
Russell, were you okay with that second? Because I think the initial, I understood it to be the 2 Downey folks.
Yeah, if Mr. Lopez is, if he enjoys working with Alicia and Mignano, I'm fine to second that motion.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have any other comments? All right. So, seconded by Dr. Casanera Calleros. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, passes 5-0. Okay, big item, 1707. Consider participation in the Public Agency Retirement Services Supplementary Retirement Plan. And this is really not necessarily participation, but approval of the PAR Supplementary Retirement Plan offering that we offer to our employees. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
We are recommending approval. This plan meets our fiscal and operational goals.
Any comments from, well, first off, do I have a motion?
I so moved.
Moved by Ms. Conchola, seconded by Mr. Lopez. Okay, any comments from the board? Yes, Mr.
I
Lopez.
do have a question. If you can, we get like a brief report,
I think that's fine. Mr. Jamero, can you give us a brief staff report on this?
please.
Sure. Based on the analysis of the PAR's final enrollment report, and give me 1 second, I can recap. The enrollment window did yield 21 certificated non-management participants that were interested, and 37 classified non-management participants that we received during the enrollment window. We anticipate, based on our projected enrollment for next year and projected non-replacements, significant savings to the district should the board approve participation for this year.
Thank you. That's it.
Did you have a comment, Ms. Conchola? No? I did want to make a short comment on this, because I think this is a very important resolution that's being presented to us with respect to planning for our short-term and long-term financial stability and health. This resolution, if passed, I think will assist us in obviously not issuing layoff notices this year, and hopefully prevent us from issuing layoff notices down the road. I am sad to learn of how many people have taken this opportunity, because we're going to lose some incredibly talented staff members. And I just want to make sure that we continue to be vigilant in the long term with respect to monitoring the need to fill or replace certain positions. And I know I, for one, will be carefully asking those questions, because this is you know, while it's a savings to the district long terms, we are losing some very talented individuals, and I want to ensure that we maintain our fiscal health, and that we want to balance out the needs of our families and students and the services we provide, but at the same time, ensuring that, in fact, we didn't just grant a bunch of incentives only to just replace everyone, even though we, you know, depending on obviously the needs. But I think this is a very important resolution for short-term and long-term financial stability, and I will support it. Okay, without any further commentary or questions, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? None? Okay, that passes 5-0. And then I know the moment you've all been waiting for, which is consider approval of revisions to board policies 3000s and 7000s on final reading.
Leave those for the end, huh?
Yes, purposefully. Dr. Oviedo, I forgot to double check this. Did we pull the ones that we were still waiting on from legal counsel review?
So yes, they are pulled, and Kevin is going to share. We pulled one and we left the other, so Mr. Chamorro, if you could share with them.
Just a quick update, since our last meeting in January, we have made the suggested edits and returned the drafts of the both the business and non-instructional operations board policies, also known as the 3000s, and the facilities policies, also known as the 7000s, with one policy still being held for further review with council. That is policy 3515.5, sex offender notification. We'll continue to work with council on that particular policy. We anticipate returning the policy at a future meeting for final consideration.
And what was the other one that you did?
The other one that was originally questioned, and I believe staff recommended that maybe we not adopt it, was 3514.1, hazardous substances. We have further discussed that item and vetted with council. It is on the agenda for the board's consideration without any additional edits.
All right, and that was after consultation with legal counsel?
Yes.
Do not reveal the substance of attorney-client privilege communications, but you're representing that this policy is what legal counsel has recommended?
That's correct.
Okay. Mr. Lopez, any questions?
Sure. Policy 7310, naming of facilities, did we ever pull that?
That one isn't part of this, so we are keeping our Whittier Union one. I believe we're still waiting for, so that's not an adopted one. But there's still work to be done by 2 board members to make it edits.
I blew this one, Mr. Lopez. I was supposed to put that on the agenda for the appointment of a special subcommittee to review that policy. So is it 7310? All right, so for in March, we'll put it on the agenda. So for the appointment of the subcommittee.
That's all.
That's on me.
I just want to approve it and then, you know, knowing that we want to do some work. Okay, thank you.
All right, do I have a motion to approve board policies, the final reading of board policies 3000s and 7000s?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Conchola.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Lopez. If there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, it passes 5-0.
Great work.
Okay. Now we're going to move to 1709, which is consider approval of the personnel report 25-2026/08 and report of resignations.
Right, and with this, I would request Ms. Fitzgerald to give us a little summary of what's in that process.
So first, line item tonight is approval for the new principal of alternative education, Mr. Februrary. And on the classified side, we're bringing on board two new classified members and a promotional reclassification, as well as a few retirements, whose names will also be appearing on the PARS list. And that is the personnel report for this evening. Any questions?
All right, do I have a motion to approve the personnel report? Moved by Ms. Conchola. I will second. Oh, Dr. Castaneda Calleros will second. Any comments?
I do.
Yes, Mr. Lopez.
Well, Mr. Rodriguez is on the agenda here. So I just want to, I support you. And I'm sure my colleagues will support you as well. I just want to thank you. Thank you for, raising your hand and wanting to continue working with the district, but at different capacity. Just want to say thank you for all the staff, all the committee members, and allowing all the unions to be part of this process. So I just want to thank you all for everything you've done. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Just have a quick comment. I also want to acknowledge Anne for all the hard work in making sure that all these processes. I had a lot of questions about the processes because I wanted to learn more, and I knew that it was a very competitive process. So congratulations, and I appreciate also that our two represented groups were part of it because we want to make sure that everybody has a buy-in for such an important role. So thank you, everybody.
All right, ditto on that, and congratulations. Where is he? I thought I saw him there.
Hiding.
He's hiding in the back there. Mr. Rodriguez, we know you're going to be successful. You're genuine, you're hardworking, you're dedicated to being the best, and you'll bring that same sense of motivation to that team. You have big shoes to fill. Dr. Moriarty has built an incredible team out there, and we wish you the best, and we are here to support. So congratulations. Wait, the vote hasn't happened yet. No, congratulations. All right, all in favor of approving the personnel report, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, passes 5-0. Yay! All right, and then last, second to last, 1801, future board topics. Is there any board topics that any board member would like to raise at this time for potential discussion in the future? Yes, Mr. Lewis.
Madam President, I would like to have a discussion about dual immersion at a future meeting. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, without any other discussion, the board does need to reconvene into closed session. And so we will reconvene into closed session, and then we will, once we're done, we will come back and close out the meeting. I see Dr. Oviedo shaking her head that maybe others do not need to stay. Good seeing everyone. Good night.
Good night, everybody.